bailed out.
Yeah, take me out. I'm going.
No,
Not me.
hi Adam.
Take me out.
What, on the track?
Yeah.
Right, hopefully we'll get this to fucking work. Oh, it's all going on, people. I've just had John on and Adam Winslet's up, just been on. I've just been trying to do it. I don't know if you can all hear me all right now. Tried fresh links. John's been swearing at me. Oh, right. Hopefully we'll be able to get this to work now. Right, let's just try a new link with John. Couldn't make it up, could you? Oh, please work this time. Please work, God. Help me. Right, I can see a few of you coming back in. Thanks for coming back. This is had a nightmare. This has never happened before, so I have no idea. 2022, yeah? Right, I've had John in swearing at me. I've had my buddy Adam Winslet in here trying to help out. His was all good. For some reason, John was getting a Bob Moore interview echoing in the back of his stream. No idea how in a million years. I don't know how the hell he was getting. Right, hopefully, I'm praying. Please not. We're not getting Bob Moore, are we, John?
No, Bob's gone. Bob's done one. Bob's done one.
We're there. Right, so you can hear me all good and I can hear you all good.
Yeah. Everyone else has gone home.
No, 70 have come straight back in.
Okay.
We're all good. We're all good. Bloody gadgets. Fuck's sake. Oh, mate.
Where's Adam gone? He's gone to the gym, hasn't he?
I can't believe he goes, there's my big mate, Adam.
Sorry, Adam.
He is about 7 foot tall, mind you, so you were
Yeah,
right
I could
there.
see that. He's in proportion.
Exactly. Right, I think everyone's coming back in. Right, Chris Simpson, how's it going, buddy? He's put it's all good now. Finally can hear you. First time this year it's gone wrong. Andy Obb said it's the first time this year it's gone wrong. Yeah, like the first of the month. Right, so we're all good. Right, I can get me questions back up now. Jesus. Right, and luckily I didn't lose any of my pictures as well. I was having a heart attack thinking all my pictures are going to disappear with a new one. But they haven't, so we're all good. We're all good, John. So, right.
Get the show on the road.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, mate. It was good. I was getting my air off, so are you. Yes, good, mate. So, did you have a quiet one last night? What did you get up to?
Yeah, last night, just went down to Portkey, had a look at the boats, came home, had something to eat and drink, and went to bed. Boring as fuck.
Darren says, is JD going to sing live?
No, not tonight. You're not paying enough money.
Oh, I can't believe you were actually listening to that while you were waiting as well.
Eh?
I thought, you won't be listening to this. You won't hear any of this.
No, I wasn't. I didn't listen to anything. I just came on when you were saying, I bet he's been listening, or so I just thought I'd send you some wanker text.
Oh, so you didn't even know?
No.
Oh, so basically, I wonder if that's what threw the whole thing off. I was playing on my phone that, what would you call it? A track?
Don't even mention it. Don't even mention it.
I love it. Someone sent me it. I can't say you because she said, it was a she that sent me it. And she said, don't tell him, he'll kill me. So I listened to it and I was like, oh my God, that is legendary. I've listened to it about 20 times.
Go. The green light's on, off we go. Just like a star that rides the sky at night. I'm off like a flash under the neon light.
Yes, John, he's doing it live as well, Darren.
Oh, God.
Get in. Mate, honestly, I have no word of a lie, no shit. I have listened to it about 20 times this week. I absolutely love it.
Actually, you could make it into a rap. You could turn it into a rap now.
I think we should reinvent it and put it back out.
Yeah. There's a long story. There's a big story behind all that.
Can we get into that or not?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah.
Come on, get into that. Yeah,
I had a phone call from Decca Records. It was like 200 years ago. And my mate, Neil, and I took Neil with me, and we went up to Decca House, we used to be on the South Bank. I don't know if it's still there or not. And we went up to the top floor and went to this big plush office, and they said, we like the publicity you've been getting. Would you be interested in making a record? So me being me, I just shied away from it all and said, yes, of course. And they wanted me to have singing lessons and just do it properly. Anyway, on the way home, or when I got home, I phoned Dave Lanning and told him. And it was the one bad thing Dave ever did for me. And Dave said, "Oh, you don't want to go with Decca. You'll just be a very small fish in a very big pool, and you'll get lost. It'll just be a publicity stunt." He said, "My mate's got a recording studio, and he'll do, I'll have a word with him, and I'll get him to do a record with him." So that's where it all happened, and it all went wrong. So I can blame Dave Lanning for that. But Neil will testify. He went with me to Decca House, and they were up for doing it properly. But like an idiot, we didn't listen.
Darren Wilson just said hi.
Hey, Darren, how's it hanging?
Can you see that picture on the screen? Look, is that what it was? Look, it's got you on the front.
Yeah, me, Ronnie P, and Scott.
And, Scott Autry with his fingers in his ears. Oh, it's classic. Oh, it was brilliant. I've loved it. Oh, mate, I've loved it. My missus just put up on the screen that 20 times a day for a week. Lee's been listening to that. I literally have.
I listened to it once.
Adam, that's just come on here earlier, he even had it on in his car and was messaging me going, "Look, I'm listening to it in the car." It's obviously brilliant. Oh, mate.
Actually, you could re-release it. There's so much shit out there,
I think we could.
They sold every copy they produced. They sold every one they press.
Yeah, look, Adam's just look.
Your burger bars at Newby Races is why I'm a fat bastard.
Oh,
yeah, well, they're good. They're good burgers. Expensive, but good.
Right, here we go. I've got this question as well, Chris, so we'll get into that one. Right, so we've got Chris Simpson here. I know he does his T-shirts and all that. Some really cool Speedway T-shirts he does. I know he's a Coventry fan. Happy New Year, mate. Glad to see you're doing more Speedway interviews. I always enjoy them. Question for John. You had some wacky psychedelic colour schemes going on. Was that influenced by anyone, and which other riders were up there back in the day to give you a run for your money looking snazzy?
Wiggy. Wiggy was always up there, wasn't he? He
Yes,
had the fluorescent or neon green, and I had fluorescent pink. There was no real reason for it. It just evolved from, I had black and gold, then I had black and silver and gold, then I had fluorescent yellow in it. And then we went to the all pink. We went to pink bikes as well. And it was just being different, But you had to win or stand a chance of winning to wear that shit. You wouldn't want to have been hanging around at the back, would you?
No.
And I had some good sponsors. This suit here was made by Hot Suits, Darren Wilson, that just came on just now, and he made me some really good sets of leathers with some really good designs. He was a clever boy when it came to designing leathers. And
was that this one? Was that one?
Yeah, I think that was one of them as well. That's Corner Leathers. They're made in Italy. They were the first ones that made the pink leathers for me. I think that the first set was like a powder pink colored set, and then we went for the fluorescence just to be different.
He's put JD came at me with the most colourful designs, and I made him the most stunning race suits.
Yeah, he did. He's right. He did. His leathers, him and Darren and Corner were the two best leather manufacturers in the world. They made really, really good kit. And that was that. If you go back to that last picture, that was the first pair of pink leathers. I remember coming out in the press day at Reading with those, and Jan nearly wet himself.
I was going to say, what was the response from the riders and the fans?
I said Jan nearly wet himself. He didn't know quite what to make of it.
I bet he did. Yeah. Oh, that was really brilliant.
It wasn't.
Those guys,
they
were quite plain.
Colour for Jan, would it?
No, I was just about to say, because those guys were quite plain when they had like plain blue and stuff like that.
Boring. You mean boring?
Wow. Yeah, boring.
Yeah, come on. That's something that I think maybe is missing a little bit from Speedway now. Because all the team suits, I think the team suits look great, but there's no individuality, and there's nobody that stands out. even when Coastal sponsored me, we changed they had a Pantone burgundy and blue were the colours for them, real deep burgundy, and we changed it to fluorescent pink. And like all the team wear, whether it was mechanic stuff or jackets or whatever, it was all done in fluorescent pink. We swapped the burgundy for the pink, and yeah, it went down all right. Coastal didn't mind. John Anderson, the guy at Coastal, was a really good guy, and he liked it. So.
You were the perfect character for it. It was brilliant, I must admit. Alf Busky has just come on, but I'm glad I never heard it. I think he's talking about the single.
I'm glad you never heard it too, Alf. You'd never have let me live it down.
No. Oh, no, and this is not going to be on this recording either. I'll have to play it when John leaves.
Yeah, you do.
We're playing when John
Alf?
leaves.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Alf. Awesome to get you on. Mr. Brian Carger's just come on. Hey, JD, still going strong, looking good. #legend.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, we had some good times together. We raced in Diedenbergen together as well as together at Swindon. And we had some good trips together. Brian was a real good guy. And he's a top engine tuner, obviously, now. There you go. It's a good team.
That was a
great team. That was a great team.
Yeah, that was a great team. That was one of my favourite Swindon ones, for sure.
It was a really good team. It was a really good team. It was probably only a bit better when Mitch came, He was there as well for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But no, top team. And then we had a great team manager in Ron as well. So it was good. Good atmosphere.
Oh, my mum's come on, John. I told you she would.
Of course it is, Jenny.
Is that why they called him Mavis?
But I'm in touch with my sexuality. That's why I could wear pink.
Get away with it, yeah.
Bruce could never wear pink. He wasn't in touch with his sexuality, but I was. I wasn't in touch with his sexuality. I was in touch with mine.
I'm with you. Also, Sue, let's put. I remember them as well. Loved the Coastal jackets. I'm pretty sure they were pink, weren't they, or like fluorescent pink?
Yeah, that's what. You're not listening. You're not on the same page.
Of course I am. I'm sure I even had one.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people had them. They were cool jackets. That was when Wolf just got going.
Yeah.
And everybody wore Wolf Sports stuff after that. Yeah. They had some good looking stuff.
I'm not sure.
The coastal jackets were pretty cool.
Yeah. Definitely stood out. Steve Hawthorne here put, I always thought the black and gold Sportac levers at Reading looked the bollocks.
Yeah, they did. Sportac made some nice stuff. It didn't fit as quite as well as it, but then you're talking, that was another era, wasn't it? That was the era before, a decade before. And that stuff, black and gold was pretty outrageous then, wasn't it?
Because a lot of the guys were wearing
generally. The world wasn't ready for pink then.
No. No, I don't think they were, John. I don't think they were. Dave Trickley here. Happy New Year, John. Hope you're well. Shit song.
Yeah, okay, all right. Nobody's perfect. At least I could fucking ride a bike, you wanker. Sorry, Dave, only joking. You were a good little rider. You just had an unfortunate... Dave was a grass track rider. And his dad, I've known his dad for many years, and his dad asked if I'd have a look at him on the grass. Mm-hmm. And so we went practicing in farm fields around here, and we've got some land down the road, and I took him down there, and he was... If you had 1,000-acre field, Dave would find the fence, and he'd find the fucking post that wouldn't break when he hit it. It was just, he could not turn corners. He was great down the straight. He just had trouble turning corners. And he found this fence post at down the road at a horse yard in the field. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of his career. Unfortunately, broke his kneecap. But there you go.
Alf Bus just said, hey, John, you always took to me when I first came over to GB. Top man, Mavis.
Thank you, Alf. I always thought you were a bit of a... Oh, yeah, you were always tax. What's tax? Or Allies tax to me. Did I always talk to you? I liked you, Alf. I thought you were a good guy. Well, until you called me Mavis now, anyway.
Yeah. Right, so I had a couple of questions that Peter Prinslow asked me as well, so I managed to get it on there, and Graham Hurry asked me a question quickly before I came on live, before it went wrong, but I did get it on the air. Peter Prinslow said, who did your engines? Obviously, you'll have to work out what era that was, because he sold a bike in South Africa, is that? which was probably not his best, but I rode it and it was a darn sight better than mine was.
That was a long stroke GM.
Okay.
And that was done by Lanty. It was one of the earlier long stroke GMs that I had, and Lanty did that for me, and I sold it to a guy out there. I can't remember his name now. Peter Prinsloo is the only guy that fucking hoovered his lawn. Most people cut their lawns. Peter Prinsloo fucking hoovered his. He had a coloured family that everywhere out there in South Africa. Peter was very good to us when we went out there. And I stayed at his house for a few days, but it was in the country, and I was a bit paranoid about the old cobras, so I ended up going and staying in a hotel with Kelly and Marvin Cox and people. But while I was at Peter's, he had this. They all had coloured families out there that were like they'd be their housekeepers and look after the gardens. Peter would have them cutting the lawn, then he'd make them fucking hoover it. I swear to God, he had a fucking lawn hoover. Didn't you, Peter?
Own up to that, Peter. If he's on here, if you're on here, he said he was going to be on here. He also said he only ever once was given a ride on Ivan's bike. It was so quick, it was scary at Exeter. I don't even know how he ever lost any race.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Ivan had some very, very quick stuff. But, you know, if you're a top rider or you're at the top of your game, you have to have good kit. You know, you can win races on slow bikes, but it's much easier if the bikes are quick. And Ivan was the ultimate professional, wasn't he? And he was always on good kit. You know, wherever he rode a lot of big, fast tracks, his home tracks, whether it was Exeter or Bellevue or even Hull, you know, to a point was somewhere you needed quick stuff. But he always had good gear, always.
So obviously you raced in, well, personally I feel was the best eras, 70s, 80s, 90s. So you went through the different times of when the riders were nudging the tapes, would you call it, guessing the gate, and then they weren't allowed to touch the tapes at all. Did you used to get into, a lot of the riders used to get into a lot of mind games, turning back, taking the time, making the other riders nervous, doing a few tricks at the start, maybe trying to get someone else into the tapes. Tell us what went on.
What went on? It was everybody took a leaf out of Ivan's book. You know, if you were a young rider and you wanted to be good, then you watched the best, and the best starter was obviously Ivan. And I mean, Ollie Olsen learned from him, and you know, it was one of those things. You know, if you could touch the tapes, you touch the tapes, and it was a little bit of movement. It didn't matter if it was going forwards or backwards; just a little bit of movement was an advantage. You know, and I think it as well, it added to the build-up of the race. I mean, I remember when I was a kid watching down at Poole, and if you were sitting in the grandstand and if Ivan was in a race, for example, he would mess around. He'd be the last one going to the tapes. He'd be digging around. And by the time he was ready, the crowd would be screaming at him, and then he'd run over the tapes 3 times, you know. And so by the time the tapes actually went up, the atmosphere that it had created, it was all the build up to the race, you know, it was all part of the build up. And I think one of the, you know, they sterilized Speedway when they made it that if you touch the tapes, you're out. I think they sterilized Speedway. And it's only a little thing. And people will say that's because I cheated at the start. I could make starts whether I cheated or not. You know, when they brought in the tape touching rule, I was still making good starts, but it was just another part or another dimension that you could bring into your game that you could fuck people up.
Yeah. What were the tricks then?
What were the tricks? Just nudging the tapes. I mean, I'd always, you know, if I was on, I'd always try and go on a fresh bit of dirt. So I'd always go on as close as I could to, if I couldn't find a fresh piece anywhere, obviously the first races, not a problem to find a fresh piece. And then you'd get nearer to the white line where the starting marshal was, or to your, you know, whoever's in the gate next to you. It's all right, my dog's just come in. Hello, boss. I've got a big dog. Anyway, no, you know, try and get as close to the white line as you could. The starting marshal would try and move you over. You wouldn't move over. Then you'd pull back. Then you'd readjust your helmet. Then you check your goggles. Then you go back to the starting gate again. By now, everyone's getting fucked off. And when they're getting pissed off with you, they're not actually thinking about making the start, are they?
Concentrating, yeah.
Yeah, it's just psychology, isn't it? And, Ivan was the master at it. He was truly the master at it. He could make starts when it counted, anytime and every time.
I'm not sure who that is. Someone's put evening, JD and Lee. Great listening, guys. I'm not sure who that is. Maybe someone could let me know who that is. Chris Simpson just put, who was the thorn in your side during your career? The rider always seemed to have a bit of needle with. And are you mates with them now, or would you like to stick one on them?
Well, I'm definitely not mates with them now because they're fucking dead. Kenny Carter, I suppose, really.
Right, okay, yeah.
We had a lot of rivalry between us. Bruce was always, a fantastic rider. And we always had some good races. PC was another one. When we were touring Australia, I remember Peter Collins saying, Neil will remember this. Okay. And PC said to me at a party one night, I think it was in New Zealand or Australia, and PC turned around to me and said, Mavis, I don't care how many fucking points I get as long as I get more than you. And he meant it, it was like, it was, and we had that kind of, okay, we were friends, but we wanted to outscore each other. Yeah. Especially in the test matches.
Yeah. That was, apparently that was Peter Prinsloo that said, evening, JD and Lee, great listening.
How's your lawn hoovering going? He also had the coolest swimming pool I've ever seen. Peter had the best swimming pool I'd ever seen. It had like a little waterfall into it and a bar by the waterfall. A really cool place.
Just got Daryl Notley on YouTube here. He's put, evening, JD and Lee. I can remember both Jimmy and John helped Steve Masters out at Swindon. Steve got going good after that. Help was brilliant back then.
Yeah, listen, it was in our interest to try and help the lower members in the team score points, and if we could help them any way we could, we would, that was in the team's benefit. And, I used to help liking people. I used to like helping people even. Yeah. And, Wiggy, is one of his first rides on Speedway was at one of my training schools, and I hadn't been riding long myself, but he came down to Weymouth and he came to Reading to my training schools. And I had a lot of pleasure watching and helping someone like Simon. The same with Lee Richardson. Obviously Lee became like my son, and it gave me great pleasure helping Lee. And to help any good young rider. I've had a lot of parents contact me and ask me if I'd help their sons or whatever. And you have to have feeling for it. I helped Lee from my heart. It was, I didn't get paid a penny for doing what I did for Lee. It was just because I wanted to do it. Yeah. And because everyone said he'd never make it. So it was a challenge. And he seriously became like my son. So, yeah. Yeah, it's in part of it, I think. I think that was the under 21 golden helmet.
Great memories there. Very cool. Very cool. Top guy. Right,
yeah,
he was a great guy, great rider. Sorely missed, that's for sure. I'm not sure there's no name on this. They put, hi John, I'm excited listening to you. What was your favourite UK team you rode for?
All of them at the time. I loved riding for Swindon. I loved riding for Kings Lynn, Wimbledon especially. Reading I loved. The time you ride or the time you're riding for that team, obviously you're really happy to be riding for that team. You're there through choice. You're not there. I own my own contract. So I could go pretty much where I wanted to from probably the last 10 or 12 years I raced. Yeah. And so I went where I wanted to go. It helped. They paid me decent money. But I had the option. I didn't have to ride. And when for example, I loved Kings Lynn. It took about probably 4 meetings before I got around the first corner and, without crashing. I ended up in hospital a couple of times, but we had a good team there. And, but then when Dave Jessup came along, as much as I like Dave and respect Dave, when he came along and replaced Simo, I didn't want to be at Kings Lynn. So I told him to poke it, and it was like when Wimbledon went to Eastbourne. I loved riding at Wimbledon, but I no way in a million years would I have ridden for Eastbourne. Not because I didn't like the Dugards. I have a lot of respect for them, but I hated the track.
Yeah.
But I still used to get points there going there as an away rider. But it was somewhere I didn't want to ride or wouldn't want to ride every week. Lance was a bit of a star. Richard Knight obviously was Mr. King's Lynn at the time.
Yeah.
He was there for a very long time. See, they weren't pink leathers, but they were pretty cool, weren't they? Navy blue.
Yeah, got a nice one here. And King's Lynn colours.
Yep. And Poole, obviously, as well. You know, it's my local town, but it didn't really end on a very good note down there. And I love riding at Sheffield. All the teams that I rode for a lot of teams, but all the teams I rode for at the time I was there, I loved riding for them. And I think it would be unfair to pick one out as being, you know, the best. Yeah. They were all very, very good in their own different ways, and they all have really great supporters.
I used to love these program boards that people used to have. There's a beautiful one there of you.
Yeah. Yeah, that belongs to Tracy, who I still keep in touch with now. She comes from King's Lynn. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy. I'm pretty sure she's on.
Hey?
I'm sure she messaged me to say she was going to be on as well. I think that's the same.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Hurry's just come on. Paul Hurry's put evening, Lee and Sir John.
What's that? New Year's honours list from Paul?
Yeah.
On Paul's New Year's honours list. Evening, Paul. How are we, Huzzle? I hear you've got a really nice girlfriend now. Look after her well. Treat her well. Your dad says you're not treating her the best. Now, that's a man that can promote Speedway. The grass tracks that he runs, they're absolutely superb. The Astro Club grass tracks are really well run. But, Paul, listen to your dad, mate, just for once. Listen to him. Treat her nicely. If she's watching this with you, I'm sorry to embarrass you.
There you go, Paul. I've actually got a question from Graham as well here that he did ask me before I come on. He put, ask John, he was a top rider that put bums on seats. Why did JD, that must mean, go to King's Lynn when the big open meetings invite a top rider from each top club?
Why did I go or why didn't I go?
I think he said, why did you go to King's Lynn?
Read that again.
Yeah,
it made no fucking sense whatsoever.
Right, he's put, ask John. He was a top rider that put bums on seats. Yeah, we got that. Why did JD go to King's Lynn when the big open meetings invite a top rider from each top league club?
Graham, you're fucking pissed. Rewrite. Send the question again. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, Graham.
If you're on here, Graham, send it again.
It's the dementia setting in.
Because I just copy and paste that, and I should have read that back first, shouldn't I? Right, I got Mark Cooper's put Happy New Year, Lee and JD. What did JD think of Dudley Wood track?
Dudley Wood was a great track. Pork sandwiches were really, really good on the back straight. I like Cradley, another track. You know, I used to enjoy Cradley. I don't think I'd have wanted to race her every week, but it wasn't a bad track. You know, I had some good meetings there. I had some crap meetings there as well. It's a bit like Ipswich. It's another one you'd go to that you'd either go really, really well or you'd have a very in-betweeny type meeting. Don't ask me why. Just the way it was.
Not sure. Oh, here we are. I'm going to say I wasn't sure because of the name, but I can see it's. Hi, John. It's Sue from Reading. So glad
Hello,
you
Sue
said.
from Reading.
So glad you said you liked riding here. We defo loved you.
Of course, I like riding at Reading. I was there for a very long time. It was just a personal thing with Bill Dorr and the way he treated Dave Lanning. You know, Bill Dorr thought the sun shone out of Jan Anderson's ass, and it doesn't. It was. He treated Dave Lanning very badly when we won the £40,000, and that ended up in court. And it was just, I couldn't stay there then. It was just all went wrong, all went very sour. But Reading up till then had been very, loved riding at Reading, obviously.
Got some good pictures to show up on that in a bit. Tracy, that's Tracy. Look, hi, Lee and John Davis. There she is.
Right, Trace.
Peter. Evening, John.
You're a fucking gay German. I love you too. And yeah, Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a better year, for everybody. And you're on the right track now, my boy.
Good man. Darren's put, he must catch up on the phone. Been a long time. My dad's going great. He's 80 now.
Fuck me, I'm nearly 80 now as well, Darren. I'm nearly as old as your dad. No, Darren really, he's been a large part of my racing career the last sort of 5-6 years that I raced with, not just with the Leathers, as a friend as well, and obviously his son is Brad, is
Bradley,
rider, won a lot of New Zealand titles. Okay, he's riding against himself. There's nobody else there, but it's still a title. Only joking, Darren. He's got a lot of talent and he will be very good.
Yeah,
he just needs to stop hurting himself.
I've got who've got there. Not sure who that is. There's no name on that. But who was your engine builder? Did you have
my engine builder? I had my dad when I started, and a guy called Mike Erskine. Mike Erskine was one of these English country gentlemen that was a genius and he lived near West Weller. And he was a very, very clever man, built great frames as well as doing good engines. And he used to help my dad do stuff, as did a guy called Nelson Herring, and he came from near Bath. Then when I progressed, obviously Otto Lantenhammer was the main man for me. When I was on the Goddens, they were all done by Don Godden and my dad. When I was riding works rider for Westlakes were doing them as well as Lanty. But then when I went to the GMs, which was the best thing I ever did, Lanty was the only person that did stuff for me. Michael Lee did the engine. It was obviously a Lantenhammer engine, but Michael did it before I went to the Golden Helmet. Yeah. And there was a chap, and it was called Van Nice Tuning. And he was Ollie Nygren's brother-in-law. And he came from Kingsall, from Norwich. Mm-hmm. Reggie Randall. And Reggie Randall used to do a lot of rebuilds for me. And used to do a great job. So I've had a few engine tuners, but Lanty is the king of engine tuners. Even the guys now with their tuning, they're all just copying and using ideas that Lanty had years and years ago. He is the ultimate, but he's obviously very old now. But he did some great engines for Lee Richardson as well. He did the engine. Lee won the World Under 21. We didn't even change a sprocket that night. We changed nothing, not a main jet, no ignition timing, nothing. Just put new tires on.
Beautiful. They were peaches. I've got Eddie Kennett's obviously laughing.
Edward, you knob. Happy New Year, Eddie.
Happy New Year, Edward. Liked you at Swindon. We had Barney on the just before Christmas as well. That was fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. It was Edward's got a lot of talent. He's disastrous career. Only, really lovely kid, and I know him really well because he went out with Jade, my daughter, for some years and lived down here with us. And I miss Edward. He was a really good guy, but disastrous. He's got so much talent, but he doesn't take himself seriously, and little things piss him off. He's a little bit stubborn. And if something's pissed him off, that's the end of it. He won't backtrack, and he will go the way he thinks. But so much talent.
He's going to feel like he's in therapy on here now.
Yeah. Hey,
Therapy by years.
He had years of therapy when he lived here.
Yeah.
He used to get therapy he's got to kick up the fucking ass. Just nightmare. But very, very talented and a lovely boy. Really lovely kid. Well, he's not a kid now; he's an old man now. But
I bet you're glad to come on, Ed. Right, I got Paul Hurry said John should be the PA chairman. It's the only way the British Speedway would come back.
I don't think British Speedway will ever come back, and I hate to say it because at the end of the day, Speedway. We all love Speedway, and it's been a massive part of our lives, or my life especially. From when I was 12, 13 years old, and I love it dearly, and it's the most exciting sport there is. It's easy for TV companies to film. It had everything going for it. It was box office. We had some great personalities riding in the British League. What do you mean you're going, Edward? Don't be such a fucking wuss. You know it's true. I love you to bits.
Oh Jesus.
But Speedway's fucked. It's I don't know who could resurrect it now. And it's so sad because we all love Speedway, but all the things that have happened over the years, like stadiums. You go into a stadium now, and Pool's not a bad stadium. Swindon, okay, there's no Swindon at the moment, but it wasn't a bad stadium. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. Sheffield's not too bad. The new Bellevue obviously is okay. Kings Lynn's borderline, but they're prehistoric. You know, you go into a top line football club or even a middle division football club, and the facilities and the stadiums are so much better than Speedways, and that is so sad. But that's because the promoters, when Speedway was so popular, they put the money in their pockets and raked it. They should have been buying the stadiums, buying the freeholds. Look at Coventry, you know. The BSBA could have afforded to buy Coventry, but they didn't. But that would have been a sound investment to buy that and to have it as the national stadium. Okay, the national stadium is now at Bellevue, you know, and it's a lovely stadium and a great facility, superb track. But it doesn't belong to, it belongs to the council, you know, and Speedway, if you look at the, you know, they run in old Greyhound stadiums. You go to Wolverhampton, it's a fucking shit tip. You know, you're tiptoeing around in case in the pits, in case you're treading dog shit. You know, and it's abysmal. It's abysmal. You know, and you go to, you know, half of these, say, middle order football leagues, and you go to their stadiums, and they're much more impressive than a Speedway stadium, and that's sad and it's wrong. You know, Speedway had its opportunity in England, and it you know. The other problem as well, I think, when if I don't go to Pool very often, but if I go to Pool, people will come up and talk to me. They shouldn't even know who I am, you know. But people come up and ask me for an autograph, and lots of people, and I see the same people that I saw when I was racing there. And those people, you know, there should be new people. Speedway needs new blood into it. It needs new blood into it. I was saying before about the race suits, you know, there is no individuals now. Everybody is the same. They're like little robotic people on bikes. You know, there's nobody in fluorescent pink or neon green, and there's no individuality. And I think that's sad. But I do think, you know, somewhere you have to draw a line, and you have to say, right, okay, Speedway's going to go this route. We're going to use the team leathers, Kevlars, whatever you want to call them. But maybe they should let riders put their own touches to those Kevlars to give it a bit of individuality. You know, you see pictures of the Pool riders now, or Swindon riders, well, not Swindon, so what wasn't the Swindon, but teams. And you can't distinguish between some of the riders. You know, they all look the same. They're all hanging off the bike. They're all wearing exactly the same Kevlars. Who is it? I don't know. And I do think that's part of it. I think touching the tapes, you know, okay, that's just a personal thing. But I think you know, it all added to the entertainment, to the build up of the race. You know, you look at the stadium, the infields, or the centre greens of the tracks. You know, Pool used to be, it was immaculate. You know, you go there now, and there's like the grass 4 inches, 5 inches long sometimes. You know, and that's it. That's your stage. You know, and the stage has to be pristine and professionally produced. The whole place has to be professional, not just the riders. The riders are professional. But you can't afford to be a professional rider in England. Hello, Sam.
Happy New Year, Sam.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Quite a few of the guys are coming on, I've spotted. Tommy Nielsen as well. Hello, JD.
Tommy, hey, hur mår du? Svenska flickor är mycket bra knulla. Do you know what I said?
Yeah, go on. Was it nice?
Hey, Tommy, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. Swedish girls are great in bed.
I was just about to say. Happy New Year to you, Tommy.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Tommy. I hope you're keeping well. a long time since we've seen each other.
I did actually see Alan Carter was online earlier as well, because just see Matt's asked about Kenny Carter. Alan Carter was on. Happy New Year, Lee and JD. What was your opinion on Kenny Carter?
He was box office. He was an arrogant little wanker. The way he ended his life and what he did to his wife was despicable. And nobody, it's terrible. But as a speedway rider, he was box office, very talented. Say he was a thorn in my side. PC hated him. There was big rivalry in the England camp then. And I remember an open meeting in Brisbane, and the England team were there, and I think it was like $5,000 to the winner. And before the meeting, we all, as the England team, we all had a talk and said, look, do we split this $5,000 if one of us wins it between the team, or what do we do? It was a 5-man team as well. And Kenny is, no, fuck off, we're going to race for it. Okay, so that was the end of that. I made the final, Kenny made the final. And the rest of the England team, Alan Graham included, God bless him, R.I.P. Alan. But they're all standing on the centre green, and I kicked Kenny's ass all the way around the Ecker at Brisbane, and he never ever spoke to me ever again.
Didn't he?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, yeah.
It was, it was, Kenny was box office, and he was true grit. He was very determined. He was very professional, and he was a very, very, very talented rider.
For sure. Yep. Right, Graham's come on. Hopefully it'll make sense then.
Bloody hell, John, you know what I mean. When the promoters ran a big open meeting, they had one rider from each team. That was normally you. As I said, you put bums on seats. So it was in Dave Jessup's interest to hoe you Kings Lynn apart from. You're still pissed. The fucking dementia's getting worse. Yes, it would have been in his interest to keep me at Kings Lynn, but he wouldn't pay me he wouldn't honour the contract I had with Bill Barker and Malcolm. And David came there, replaced Simo as team manager, and he flatly refused to pay me the deal that I'd done. He wouldn't honour the deal. I owned my own contract, so I told him to poke it up his arse. Wouldn't you do that? If you went to work and, you'd agreed a deal with your boss, and somebody replaces your boss, the company's still the same, and you're doing the same hours and you're doing a good job, and he came along and said, well, actually, I'm going to cut your money. You'd tell him to poke it, wouldn't you? Well, I would.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. 100%. Right, Matt Stevens put, tell JD if he's ever in Newbury, stop in the pub by the race course for a pint.
I don't drink. Matt, which pub? I don't know which. There's loads of pubs around the race course. We normally stay at Cheveley at the Travel Lodge. We stay in all the best places. We normally stay at say hi. Hello, hi, Peter Princely. Say hi.
I want to know about that Hoover. Yeah.
We normally stay at the Travel Lodge at Cheveley when we're at Newbury, and we normally do go for a drink on a Friday night between racing Friday and Saturday. If you tell me which pub it is, I'll pop in.
All right, hopefully I'll come back on that. Frank Smith, how you doing, Frank? Happy New Year, JD. Lots of love. Mary said, nice to see your face. See you soon. We'll pay you a visit soon.
Okay, Frank. Mary is the best kisser in the world. Happy New Year, Mary. Sorry, Frank, to make that public. Can you get your brother to give me a ring, Frank? I need to talk to your brother about the glamping, the cleaning of the glamp sites, the tents. Sorry about this. Frank's brother's got a cleaning business in Bournemouth. Mm-hmm. And Happy New Year to you both. Love you both. Frank was in the Peterborough team when I first started. Mm-hmm. And we go back a long way. Well, that was at least 300 years ago. Stephen here,
Galbraith, just said Eddie was like Lewis Bridger as well, another great talent.
Yeah, Lewis Bridger was another great talent, but again, very wayward. But Eddie was way more talented than Lewis. I saw him pass Bommel Harris from the back at Hallelujah, Paul Hurry. Hey, see what you should be cheering. Yeah, but then I'd get the blame everyone and go, fuck, Speedway's still screwed. It must be his fault. Speedway is screwed. It needs to wake up to itself, and it is the best fucking sport there is, but it's just fucking run by a bunch of... No, it was run by a bunch of pricks. It is now run by very keen people that love Speedway, but it's like being on a sinking ship. They don't know how to how to get the water out. And the boat's just getting lower and lower, and they're all bailing as quickly as they can, but it's not working, and they don't know what to do next. Matt Ford, I've said it before, Matt Ford is a very, very good promoter, and he has got a good brain in the shoulders, and he worked hard at the sponsorship of Paul, which has kept Paul afloat, and he would be a good man to do the job, in my opinion. That is only my opinion.
Dave Edgar here put agreed, and riders should be able to have a wee dust up when things go wrong. Can he beat a good fight to living up a meeting? David, I couldn't agree more. 100%. Again, like fuck, going back to when I was a kid, and we used to go to Neil and I used to hang out at Paul Speedway every Wednesday night, and John Langfield would be paid money by Charles Knott, the promoter, to go up into the referee's box and grab the referee around the throat, or to kick the telephone across the pitch, or to punch somebody, or it was it. Right. I think we've lost a bit of what Speedway's about. At the end of the day, it's show business. It's entertainment. It's entertainment, or meant to be entertaining. Yeah. And it is fucking sterile. And it needs, you've got to have showmanship. You've got to have some controversy. You've got to be able to punch somebody on the nose, or fucking get a hold of their head, or, it's about entertainment. It's not football. It's not Premier League football. It never will be. But it's the perfect sport, and it's an exciting sport, and it's fucking tragic watching what's happening. Agreed. I've got a story here from the lovely Jill Graham, Andy Graham's wife, who's just come on and said, "Happy New Year to you both. John and Andy spent 3 months touring Australia in 81, 82. We went to John's engine tuner in Aussie one night, and there were toads all over the road. Andy asked John, what are they going to do about the toads? And John said there was no choice but to run them over, as he had to get his engine done. A really good tour and a great captain."
Yeah, we had some good times. Andy and Alan were like, they never, ever took their fucking T-shirts off. And they did the whole tour wearing T-shirts. And whenever you went in the change rooms, they'd be bright red from there down to there would be bright red, and their legs from the end of their shorts to their feet would be bright red, and they'd be just white everywhere else. And tragic what happened to Alan, but both of them, I had a great time at Wimbledon with Andy as well. Just really good guys, real true Speedway family through and through. And very, very talented riders.
Yeah, 100%.
The picture you had on at the beginning with the bright fluorescent pink is Alan behind me. It's in the British final. And I won the race. And I don't know what I'd done to piss Alan off. There was a hell of a race going on behind. And with Mark Laram, Alan, and I think Andy Smith. And, yeah, there. And after the race, Alan came past me and tried to push my hand off the handlebar. I don't know what I'd done to piss him off. I mean, I was like a long way in front. I didn't really, unless it was on the first turn, but I don't really think I did anything untoward. But he could, he could dish it out, but he could take it too.
Top guys of the Graham brothers. It was so cool as well, obviously, John. I see Andy coming road in the Legends thing at my meeting as well. He was loving it out there. Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, great motorcyclists, all-round motorcyclists like Arthur Browning, from the same territory as well.
I got Honey said, "Hi John, hope you're well. Always love seeing JD at Exeter."
Hey Honey, hope you're keeping well, darling. Lots of love. And Happy New Year. Let's hope it's better than 21, eh?
Frank come back on and said, from Mary, yes, and I will sort with my brother Paul. There you go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, I don't know whether to put that up. Oh, James has put Ty Woofenden is the best we have.
Without a doubt. He is by far, he's one of the best in the world. Of course, he's the best we have. But there's, I fell in this pit last year as well. I don't even know the names of the two English lads that are quite good. Well, Robert Lambert.
Yeah, Robert Lambert. Where you got?
And who's the other one?
Yeah.
There's another one as well.
Who's that?
The dude writes for Bellevue, or it did really well.
Cook?
No, God no. I said good. Anyway, there's two really good youngsters under time. Obviously Ty is class, total class, and he deserves everything he's getting. Proud that he's English. Good job he is English.
Bewley, that's what you're on about. Dan
Bewley.
Bewley.
He's got a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent.
I don't think he's riding in Britain yet, actually. I might be wrong. I don't want to quote.
Why would you? Why the fuck would you?
Poland and
would you want to ride for 140 pounds a point in front of 1,000 people or 1,500 people on a good night, or would you rather ride for 700, 800, 1,000 pounds a point, 1,200 pounds a point in front of 10, 20, 30,000 people? Where would you rather be? On tracks that you can race on, best tracks in the world, in the best stadiums in the world as well. Where would you go?
So it's plain maths, isn't it?
It's nothing. It's not even the money. It's about the atmosphere. It's about where you're riding. It's who you're riding against. It's the level of tracks you're riding on. It's everything. It is by far the most professional league.
Honey put, I miss my dad, John. Rest in peace, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I know that, Honey, and he was a really, really good guy, and there's lots of them have gone too soon. I miss Lee really badly. I know Colin does too. Unfortunately, that's life. I miss my dad. It's I've had a conversation with Harry for 5 minutes. He called me a rock prick. It's just, unfortunately, that is part of life. And it's, Kevin Holden, another classic example, someone taken too young and was a really good guy. Kevin was a really good friend of mine. But I say, unfortunately, that's life and you have to get on with it.
Darren Golden's put spot on, JD. Missed the days of Gresham swinging his crash helmet at people or Tim Hunt ripping the tapes out.
Yeah, exactly. It's entertainment, and it's not about, not to get on the microphone and swear, and it's nothing to do with that, but it's actually giving the crowd some anticipation of something exciting might happen, instead of just like filling your program in and okay, next race. I say the actual sport is very exciting, but it needs the entertainment factor putting back into it. I think that's just my opinion.
Yeah, this is true as well. Keith Burton here, as I was going to mention this as well, because I go to the ice hockey quite a lot and been for quite a lot of years now. I initially went there because they obviously got the goals and all the play and all that, but then you would have like the odd fights and scuffles and all this.
Yeah, exactly.
People get into it.
Yeah, but then the crowd get going, and it's all atmosphere. It's show business, isn't it?
Yeah. Collins put yes. The lack of characters, even on the terraces, like Soldier Boy.
There used to be a guy in Gdansk. I loved riding for Gdansk. Gdansk was, they gave me the freedom of the city when I was in Gdansk, and but there was this guy, and he used to be real nice, pleasant guy, but he was a speedway lunatic, and for a living he used to busk. At the Golden Gate. Gdansk is a very beautiful city, and there's a gate called the Golden Gate, and this guy used to busk at the Golden Gate, and he could play anything from classical music to the Beatles to U2 to Bon Jovi. He could play literally anything, on a guitar. And when he'd finished for the night, there was a little. We used to walk about 50 meters to this little bar that had opened up, and it was a little cobbled street, and it had these rickety houses going down each side, and there was one that had been turned into a bar, and we'd sit on the balcony on outside this bar, and he'd play anything we wanted, and we'd just sing along. He'd play the old Beatles stuff. Philip would be with me, the mechanic. We lived out there for 3 months. It was the best 3 months of my life. We had such a good time.
I got Craig Richardson on YouTube. He's put evening both. John was well known for being a bit of a joker and hiding people's passports, border crossings, and telling them that they had left-handed forks. Has anyone got him back?
No, never. Never. Kelvin Tatum. We were in the Czech Republic for the Golden Helmet, and we nicked his passport. When it was communist, you always had to leave your passports at the hotel reception, and when you came out, you obviously had to be smart enough to remember that you'd left your passport there. Pick your passport up before you leave. And I would normally go and pick everyone's passports up because they were always forgetting them and leaving them behind. So in this particular occasion, I picked up Kelvin's passport. In my transporter in the van, there was myself. I can't remember if Grubby was driving. Philip was there. Simo was, I think Simo or Phil Crump, I can't remember now. Anyway, we were going from Pardubice to Prague. We were going to the Jar factory. And from there, we were going to the airport and going home. And so we've got halfway to Prague or to the Jar factory from Pardubice, and I brought up passports in the conversation, and Kelv went, "Oh fuck, I've left my passport behind. Can you turn around?" Well, no, we can't turn around. Sorry, we're not turning around now. We've come like 60 miles. We've got another 60 to go. And so he goes quiet, and he kind of goes a bit sheepish and white, and we're all taking the piss out of him, telling him next year when we come here, he'll be one of the Czech communist army men, with the little lollipops telling the traffic when to go and stop. And we're just winding him up more and more and more. And it's obviously sinking in, because when we get to the Jar factory, Evshin Urban, was looking at, he was head of the Jar factory then. And he also runs part of it, Speedway. And so I've got hold of Evshin. I said, look, we've got Kelvin's passport. He thinks he's left it in part of it. And we've told him that he won't get out of the country. It'll take 3 months before he's able to get out of the country, if he can get out of the country. So Evshin was going around. We're going around all these different departments. We're looking at where they make the heads and the wheels and the flywheels and the crankcases. And every department we go to, Evshin's talking away in Czech, and he's actually telling them, see Kelvin Tatum, they've got his passport, and he thinks he's going to be locked up in our country for the next 3 months. And like, people are laughing and going, and he hasn't got a clue what's being said. And we go from there. We go into the office, and Evshin gets coffee for us, and we're all having a coffee. And Kelvin says, "I need to go to the toilet." So off Kelvin goes to the toilet. About a minute later, Phil says, "Actually, I could do with a pee as well." So Phil goes to the toilet, and there's Kelvin in the toilet, like just about in tears, crying. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do, Phil? How am I going to get out of this country? And we then told him that we did have a sponsor. Left-handed forks. That's another one. That one of Lee's mates. We were again in Pardubice, and he bought some cheap forks. But they had the damper on the other side. They're normally on, I think, the right side, and these were the left side, and these were on the right side, whatever. So on the way back in the van, we told him that it was for left-handed speedway. That's why they were cheap. And he said, "What do you mean left-handed speedway?" I said, "Well, left-handed speedway in Czech Republic's the only other country in the world that do it. They go the other way around. Right-handed speedway. They turn right instead of going that way around, anti-clockwise. They go clockwise." So he was convinced he bought these clockwise speedway forks. But, yeah, just having fun, Boys having fun.
I think we cleared that out, did we? Paul just put the senile Graham meant back in the day when John and Dave Jessup rode for Reading. John was always the other promoter's chosen one to have at a big meeting to bring in the crowds. Was that why DJ left to go to King's Lynn?
Of course it was, and that was why he gave me a hard time when he came to King's Lynn when I was riding there. Yes, you're right, Paul. And no, he's not senile. He's just a bit confused occasionally, the old boy. He is pretty old, but he is pretty old. Yeah, no, that was why he left to go to King's Lynn. Yeah.
Matt said about that Mitch Shearer was always entertaining at Reading.
Yeah, he was. Again, Mitch was a character. Okay, out and out character. You know, just the way he was. You know, it was. Yeah, he was a total character, and he was entertainment plus. You know, and you didn't fuck with Mitch. You know, if you knocked Mitch off, you knew you were going to get a punch on the nose when he came in the pits. You know, it's just the way. It's how Speedway was and how it should be still.
My brother's just come on, and my brother has just put Happy New Year to you, John. Happy New Year to you, John. Lee definitely had a pink coastal coat.
Coastal coat.
He means coastal, yeah. I never got one, but I spent a long time trying to pinch it. Great coat, great colours. Our dad always had great stories about your time together. When he always told us stories, he would always have a smile on his face while talking about it. I think one of them was that he said being in a car with you, and he said like you do stuff to people at traffic lights, and then the traffic lights would stop and the people would be running down the road.
Yeah, we do. We do all sorts of shit like that. You know, like when we were driving through East Europe. You know, we'd have shaving foam. Always have a can of shaving foam in the vehicle, and we'd always have chain spray.
Yeah.
And you know, going down the motorways or the autobahns or even country roads, we'd chain spray out the windows because it'd go down the side of the van, not touch the van. And then the airflow around the van, it would suck it in, and it goes straight onto the windscreen of the car behind. First thing they do is hit the windscreen wipers. You've got chain lube on your window. It's not really, you can't see much then. You know, the other thing we'd do is with the shaving foam, we'd make out we were lost and ask people, you know, can you come here? Do you speak English? You know, and they go, no, no English, no good. And you go, we're shaving foam just before you left them. You know, I mean, Northampton, I think curry sauce and chips ended up on somebody's windscreen, and but just harmless fun. Yeah. We didn't do anything terrible. It was just all harmless fun. We didn't throw TVs out of bedroom windows and bounce them on bonnets of larders underneath, you know. Just harmless. And it was fun. Yeah, the three-wheel trikes. We used to spend a lot of time riding those in Argentina. That was taken, I think, the Echo. Look at the number of people. Look at the crowd.
Yeah, stacked.
See how many people are there?
Yeah.
And it was like that all the way around. And that was the night of the Kenny Carter final. That was the night of the Kenny Carter final. But I learned to ride the trikes in Argentina on the beaches. We were sponsored by Honda out there, and they gave us Honda ATCs. And yeah, I spent hours going on two wheels all down the beach on them. And then when I came back to England, Honda launched a series. Which was a series of races on the ATCs, and they gave us do you remember the Red Rocket Honda 250 engine? Yeah, we had ATCs with 250 rocket engine, the Honda rocket engines, and they were the quickest, most lethal things you've ever fucking ridden. And Philip, my mechanic, and he at the time, Phil's coordination in motorbikes isn't great, and like he's a really, really good guy, but his coordination on a motorbike isn't the best. And he going through a gateway, he lost the control of the trike and broke all his toes on, I can't remember, his left foot or his right foot. But they were lethal. They were seriously quick. They ran this series. They did a motocross. You think you have to do a motocross race, a grass track, and a speedway race. And I think the speedway race was at Wolverhampton, from memory.
Yep.
And but Reg Firman at the time was riding at Reading at the time, and he wouldn't let me do them. But they gave us the trike anyway for a while. Yeah, golden helmet. Check golden helmet winner.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Sorry?
That's beautiful. I said Peter's just put JD didn't know the difference between a toilet and a shower either.
That's just because I used to piss up his leg in the showers. Ivan did it to me the first. I was like 16 or 17. No, I can't have been that young. I was about 18 or 19. I was in the showers at Exeter, and I'd actually beaten Ivan in Heat 1, which pissed him off. And we were in the change rooms and the showers, and we're talking away and washing their hair, and he's saying, "You ever had that feeling some cunt's pissing up your leg?" And I looked down, and Ivan Major's pissing up the leg. So I used to do it. So I thought, if it's good enough for Ivan, then I can do it.
Yeah,
I used to do anything Ivan did. So then places like Diedenberg and in the change rooms, I'd piss up Peter's leg, and we're still friends, so it can't have done too much harm, can it?
No, exactly. Graham's just come back on and said, I ain't seen Al John, just have a good memory. Helped you get sponsorships at Goddard's. I could tell the phone calls you made there when.
Yeah. Graham was, I was only joking about senility. It was Paul that was serious about it. And no, Graham was a massive help to me. I've known Graham and, well, virtually all my life from when I was about 12 years old. When my dad had the caravan park, and Graham turned up there with his mum and dad one day. They were camping there, and Graham was racing grass track at, I think maybe at the Wimborne Whopper. And I knew nothing. I was like 10 or 12 years old maybe. But I was just all excited because there was this grass track bike on a trailer, or two grass track bikes on this trailer at the caravan park. And so I kind of went and befriended Graham. We've been mates ever since, and I was best man at his wedding. And yeah, he did a lot for me at Goddard's, that's for sure. But he's still the best grass track promoter. Him and Barkles, together they were a very good pair. Could tell a few more stories, but best leave it there. Okay.
I'm sure, Graham, I'm sure. Who was your favourite ride? Who are your favourite riders to team ride with, and why?
Jimmy Nelson.
Mm.
We never argued about which starts we were going off of. I knew he was always around the inside, or most of the time he'd be around the inside. Neil Midlow, because I knew he was always around the inside. Yeah, who else? Believe it or not, Kenny Carter in Australia. Sometimes when we rode together, he was actually quite a good bloke to team ride with. Anders Michenek. When I was starting at Reading and Mitch was there, he was the big number one there. And if we were out together in sort of one of the later races of the night, he'd just say, "Look, which stuff?" You know, what does he say? "I go off the inside, but you just go. Don't look for me. You just go." And he would stuff everybody up, and he'd just let you go. He was always pretty good to ride with. Yeah, I suppose really they're the sort of main ones that stick out in my mind. Midlow, when we were young and happy. Del Monte. Is that Del Monte?
Yes,
No, it's orange juice anyway.
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Argentinian flag on my hip. Little Argentinian motor. Yeah.
Why was that then?
I loved the country. I fell in love with the country, and the people were really, really nice. Treated me very, very well. Yeah, Neil was meant to come with me the first time I went out there. In the end, he didn't. Well, basically, you had to pay all your own and pay your own way out there, and you got it refunded or reimbursed when you got there. And Neil didn't trust them, and I did. And I think I brought something like $40,000 home. I was out there for 2 months. I came up like it was either $40,000 or $45,000. I sold my second-hand Godden, which was like a bike I made up out of spare parts, for $12,000, which at the time was like $7,000.
Yeah.
And so it was, you know, it was like, yeah, but it was just a really good trip. And they were lovely, lovely people, very loving. Um, yeah, mad about Speedway, very passionate about the Speedway. And it was just a pleasure to go there. I went there, I think, 4 times, 3 or 4 times, 4 times. And if I'd chosen somewhere to live, that's where I would have lived.
So you took them to your hearts. Got who's that there? That's Jeanette Hubbard here has put, hello, John. If you could change one decision you made during your career, what would it have been, apart from not making the record?
Right, Jeanette, Happy New Year. I did a celebrity car race at Brands Hatch. I think Neil did it as well, from memory. I went up there for a practice, or you had to go there to go and have like an initiation to learn the track and all the rest of it. And we were driving XR3Is from memory. And after I'd done a few laps, the instructor asked me if Matt Hector, you cheeky shit. Thank you, Matt. Is that leg end or legend? And after I'd done a few laps, the instructor asked me if I wanted to go out in a single seater, and I went out in it was a school car, you know, racing school car, but it was a Formula Ford. And I got very close, like my lap times were very, very consistent, and I got very close to the lap record for the Formula Fords at the time. It was a short circuit at Brands. And about a week later, I had a phone call from Unipart. And Unipart had a Formula 3 team. And they offered me the opportunity to go and drive in the, I think, Gauloise or someone like that, ran a racing school in France, at one of the circuits in France. And they wanted me to sign a 3-year. If I showed the same potential they thought I had, they wanted me to sign a contract to drive Formula 3 for 3 years. And I said, what about the Speedway? And they said, no, you can't race Speedway. So I just said, well, thanks, but no thanks. And that was the biggest mistake of my life. Do you know who they replaced me with in the Unipart Formula 3 team? Nigel Mansell.
Oh,
yeah, it's true. That is true. So that pissed me off a bit. No, it didn't piss me off. I made my decision, but I love racing cars, and I wish I had taken it more seriously or done something about it. But you don't always know you have no idea what life holds for you, do you?
Steve Hawthorne here put, what about Bobby Swartz for team riding?
Yeah, Boogaloo was really good. He was a really good team rider. And again, he was somebody that was 99% of the time around the inside. All the Americans were very, very good team riders, whether it was, you know, Kelly at Eastbourne with his teammates, whether it was Sean at Sheffield, Bruce obviously at Cradley, or Dennis with the guys at Ipswich. They were all brilliant team riders. Probably better than the British riders at team riding, to be fair. And Scott obviously was a very good team rider too.
Paul's put, is it right when Dad said that John was going to take up tennis at one stage?
Yeah, had a few tennis lessons, eh? It's a private joke, all right?
I was like, waiting what you're going to say then. I was like,
yeah, I know. Private joke. Family joke. Family joke.
Okay, right, I'm with you. Neil should have been on the New Year's Honours by now. He achieved a lot as a Spear manager with what he's won. What do you think about this, John? Hope I've not upset fellow Swindon fans now.
I don't know about the New Year's Honours list, but he's been a very, very, very good Speedway manager. But Matt's always given him very good riders to work with. But no, Neil's been a fantastic Speedway manager. I don't think Speedway's ever going to get anyone on the New Year's Honours list anymore, are they?
No.
Let's be real.
No.
You know, it doesn't really rate too high on the Richter scale anymore, unfortunately.
Who were the teammates that was impossible to team ride then with?
Sorry?
Who were the riders that were impossible to team ride with?
Riders that were impossible to team ride with. Tim Hunt would have been one, I guess.
Yeah.
Nobody's impossible to team ride with. You know, if you had somebody that was a little bit, you know, well, actually, Peter Prinsloo wasn't the easiest one to team ride with. Peter was always on the edge sometimes, but Backlav Werner, another one. You know, if you were in a race and if you were riding at Pool at the time and you're in a race and Backlav was your teammate, he made you go over really quick. You're always looking over your shoulder to see where he was, and everyone thought you were team riding. It was just you weren't. It was a matter of survival.
Yeah, classic. Oh, I got a nice picture of it.
World Masters or whatever they called it, in Gothenburg. That was a good meeting. That was a good meeting to win.
Looks like all the top boys were there.
Yeah, it was. There was a series. There was one in Hamburg. There was one in Gothenburg. Another one in Boyens. And I can't remember where the fourth one, or maybe there was only the three. I can't remember that. Me and my mate Peter.
Did you always get on well with Peter? Was you?
Yeah. Listen, it's a team sport, but you're individuals, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, it's a total contradiction of terms, but you're teammates, and you know, when you're riding for England or you're riding for your club, but at the end of the day, it's an individual sport because you want to win. Obviously, open meetings are totally different. We were both part of Team Castrol at the time, and Team Castrol obviously was Burma House in Swindon, just down the road from you.
Yep.
I don't know if they're still there or not, but me and PC were the two speedway riders that they sponsored. And then they had obviously grass track riders, motocross riders, and road racers. But, yeah, we're pretty good mates.
Another class English rider for sure.
Sorry?
Another top class English rider for sure.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. It's not much he hasn't won, is there?
No, exactly.
Not much he hasn't won. Definitely had a better career than me.
Awesome rider. I think that was the year, wasn't it? Is that the year you won the league? With,
1980, yeah, that's the year we won the league. There's your uncle.
Yeah.
And Bernie Lee, Gobble, good old Bernie Lee. Yuri Stansel, Jan Anderson, Bobby Schwartz, Tony B. Tony was an unlucky little rider. He should have been very, very good. He should have been so very good.
He got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He broke his spine. And yeah, it was that finished him. It was at Coventry. It was one meeting I missed that year, and he got injured at Coventry. The powder pink leathers.
Is that at Bradford, isn't it? Is that Bradford?
Yeah, it is Bradford. Yeah.
Did you see the? I see that a track went back up there, didn't it? For the is it stock cars or whatever it was? Or cars
Yeah, they've always had a stock car track there around the outside. Yeah, you know, it'd be a lovely place to have speedway again. It was a fantastic racetrack.
Yeah,
it was an awesome track.
Still remember some bloody good finals there and all that when Per won.
Yeah, no, listen, it was a great racetrack. You know, people like Javi were unbelievable around there. Yeah, Per and Jan. Per was another, a rider in the class of Michael Lee, really.
Yeah.
Really, really good rider.
It was good fun. I did an interview with Per, and Amanda Castagna came on and told him to stop swearing.
Yeah, that'll be about right. That'll be about right.
It was brilliant.
But very tragic what happened to him, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Sportac leathers.
That's what I remember you at Swindon.
That?
Yeah, I remember you at Swindon.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was good times, you know? Really good times. Really good times.
Oh, where'd that go? Is you on the end of that? I feel that looks like that's excellent in there.
Sorry?
It looks like that's at Swindon there. Looking,
Looks like a what?
looks like it's at Swindon there. With Reading.
That, but yeah, it is 100%.
Mm.
100%.
Good teams you had at Reading though as well. Didn't you always had good teams at Reading with the Swedish guys?
Yeah, no, Reading always had good teams. Again, you know, sort of Brian Leonard was the promoter there then, or whether he was team manager and promoter or just promoter, I can't remember now.
Mm.
But yeah, we had good teams there. We had good teams there. I went back there. I think that was the second time I went back there, and yeah, it was very good teams. Very good teams.
Graham Hurry just said, all joking apart, it needs someone like John to take control and be the main man to turn English speed around, but maybe it's gone too far down now.
I honestly think it has, and you know, terrible thing to say. I'm not trying to put the final nail on the coffin or wishing ill of it, but I just think Bo Peterson and myself at Wimbledon, I think. But I don't know the road back. I genuinely don't know the road back, or you know, can you tell me the road back? No. Can anybody, you know, shed any light on what it would take to actually resurrect the sport and get it back to where it was? Because the sport itself is no different, is it?
No.
You know, it's still great entertainment. You know, you're racing 500cc bikes, no brakes, no gears. You know, and the races only last for a minute. So on average, so what's more exciting than that?
Like you say, I don't know if it. What is it? Is there too much to do these days? Is it the internet? People don't need to move and they can watch anything live anywhere in the world, anywhere, but not even moving.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
But is it the internet? Is it people's expectations now? Is it what people want now? You know, people vote with where they spend their buck, don't they? And you know, if you stop taking money with your food units, then you have to look at your product, don't you? Well, if people stop going to Speedway, then you maybe need to look at your product. You know, and maybe just all those little things we've been talking about. You know, different coloured Kevlars. You know, the team suits. You know, they're not letting people flourish as a character. You know, you're not letting the individuals shine, are you? You know, if there's anybody out there to shine or to be different, you're not allowing them to be different.
Yeah.
Which is sad. And that's why there's nobody on there now.
No. You need a JD, look.
Black and gold.
Yeah, that's nice. I got a really young one here.
Huh. Yeah. 15 or 16 at pool.
What you knew now, John, then.
Yeah. Be dangerous, wouldn't it?
You would, yeah.
Be so fucking dangerous. So dangerous. Peranyemi.
Yeah.
That's a good shot, actually.
Yeah.
It is a good shot. Chris Morton's testimonial. That's his wife, Jackie.
Another great British rider. Did you always get on well with Chris?
But a fantastic track as well. The old Bellevue. It was an unbelievable place to race. Absolutely unbelievable. Like the buzz you used to get racing around there, you know, because it was big, fast, banked.
There's also Nigel here. He's put the track at Bradford is the same track, John, not around the outside. It's been relayed to clay stroke shale. I raced stock cars there this year. Nigel.
Hey, Nigel, how are you? Yeah, you know, it's a stadium gone to waste, isn't it? But then if there's not enough people going to Speedway generally, why would somebody want to invest a load of money and start up in somewhere like Bradford where it didn't get massive crowds at the best of times? But Speedway, it needs a saviour, and I don't quite know what. 6 teams in the Premier League, yeah, that's about right. You can't run a league with 6 teams, can you? Well, you can, but you're not. Come on.
Who would have ever thought it got to that? Look,
it's pathetic. Why don't they just make it one league? Just one league.
Because they all race when they're doubling up, they all sort of pretty much race in both anyway, don't they? Pretty
Yeah,
much,
but what's this riders riding in 2 or 3 little? How many? I don't even know how many leagues there are. But riding in 2 or 3 leagues, it's bullshit. Just make it one league, and that's the end of it. You can't run an exciting season with 6 teams in the league. That doesn't work for me. I just the Wig, another great rider, Andrew Silver.
Yeah, it's great talent as well.
But you see, just something simple there, like we were different, weren't we?
100%. That's why the crowd.
I know the if you look at those, every one of those sponsors on those leathers were paid for by product or by money, and we worked really, really, really hard to get those sponsors. Okay, people like Tolbert, obviously a speedway equipment manufacturer. Kenwood, nothing to do with speedway at all. That was a commercial sponsorship. GM, okay, that was engines. Kelvin, I'm sure, like Brian Griffin, nothing to do with speedway. It was a commercial sponsorship. Coastal Windows, that was a commercial sponsorship. Bolle, the sunglasses, again, commercial sponsorship. But now, if you look in England, there's the sponsorship. We used to work hard to get our sponsors. We'd work from probably the end of the season up until January. All the budgets are done before then. You've got to hit them really early to stand any chance of getting any money out of anyone. But it's a full-time job when the season finishes doing your sponsorship. But people now don't realise that.
Roscoe's just come on and put simply not enough
riders for one league. Maybe there's too many tracks. Maybe so go down to five riders in a team. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't know the answer, but I do know that something drastic needs to be done, because you cannot run a fucking top league with 6 teams. They're going to be, how many times they're going to race each other? People want to see, they've always wanted to see league racing, haven't they? Not so much the open meetings or challenge matches. That means there's 12 official fixtures, doesn't it?
David's just said, look, Team GB winning the World Cup and only getting about 20 seconds of airtime on the BBC show. Shows how the sport has declined in the UK over the years. I love Speedway and always will.
David, we all love Speedway, and that's the tragedy of it, but there's not enough people that do love Speedway. England winning the World Cup. Okay, I'll say what I'm going to say, and don't jump down my throat. Do not call me a wanker. Well, no, you can call me a wanker. I don't mind that. But it wasn't really a World Team Cup like it used to be, was it? And I'm not being rude. I'm just being deadly honest. And the system that ran it, or the way that it runs, okay, that's not the riders' fault. They didn't make the rules up or how the result finished. Poland should have walked it, but they didn't. England won it, and I was proud as any Englishman when they won it. But when you look at it, it was almost like a second-tier World Cup.
It's effectively a pairs meeting now, isn't it? It's pretty much
Sorry?
It's almost like a pairs.
Yeah. But, it was disgusting. They only got 20 seconds of airtime on BBC, but then that it does just show what the press think of, or the general media think of Speedway. And that's a tragedy.
It's interesting. Look, Kevin Titman, boys. Yeah. Kevin has put, boys, Speedway bike, Speedway in Australia has the same problem. Lost all the old showground tracks that JD used to race against my dad.
Yeah, John Titman's son. There you go. It's another Aussie legend. But then, okay, maybe a lot of the reason that the tracks have gone in Australia, somewhere like the Ekka and Sydney Showground were prime real estate in the middle of a city. They were probably always destined to go for building, or eventually. But then they should be made to replace or rebuild a new stadium on the city, you know, on the outer city limits or something like that. You know, there should be. I don't know what the answers are. You know, I just think Speedway, apart from Poland, seems to be in a really, really bad place, and that's sad. Because everyone that's on here, okay, maybe not many people on here, but everyone that's on here loves Speedway. We've all had it. It's been our lives for many, many years.
Yeah.
And that's the sad thing about it. And it isn't a bad entertainment. Yeah, maybe it does need to reinvent itself.
Tracks in Poland and
I think it's too late to go back to upright engines. I think it would be, you know, they should have done that 5 years ago, 6 years ago if they were going to do it. But I think that Poland got big crowds, whether they use upside down engines, inside out engines, or whatever. But Poland will always have big crowds at Speedway because Speedway is their national sport. It's bigger than for soccer out there, and that's why they get the big crowds. You know, I think Speedway is in dire straits, and it is partly the tracks, it is partly the stadiums, it is partly the lack of entertainment. In Poland, the councils or the government, the local government, will support the Speedway. You know, they'll put funding into it to build a new stadium and to give it a first-class venue to hold their Speedway at. You know, and England can't compete with that. Speedway's a very small sport in England now, and that's what's sad. You know, and okay, your man in part of it, so I missed his first name, but yeah, part of it. And Steve, fantastic town, fantastic track, lovely place, you know, but they're out and out Speedway people. But if you go to a league meeting in the Czech Republic, and that isn't that far from Poland, is it? Similar track, not a bad stadium, not the best stadium in the world by any stretch of the imagination. But there's maybe 1,000 people or 1,500 people, I expect. You know, and that's not far from Poland. So what's the difference? Poland have got it so right, and it's so commercial out there now as well. With Poland has a lot of massive companies now. Commercially, it's a very big country and a very wealthy country, and they love their Speedway, and they'll put the money into the Speedway because Speedway again is getting the TV time, it's getting the air time, it's getting the publicity. It's the right image for the marketing consultants that are involved with it, with the companies out there. All these big companies have marketing consultancies now, don't they? And if the marketing consultancy likes what they're being proposed for sponsorship, they'll pay the money. You know, in England, you know, if marketing consultancy for Coca-Cola got involved and went to Wolverhampton or Poole or any of the Speedways now, do you really think they'd advise their client to get involved? Do you? You know, when they see how many people are on the terraces? No, they wouldn't.
I definitely think the facilities is definitely a big thing with the stadium.
Of course it is.
Because you see people at football now, and I see them, and sometimes they're not even, sometimes not even actually just there for the entertainment. I see them going off 15 minutes, say, before half-time of a football match, because they're there to, you know, have food and drink as well, and they want good facilities and you know, comfortable and all that sort of thing. People like all that as well, obviously.
Yeah, of course they do. You know, not being funny. If you go to any stadium, you want decent facilities. But Newbury horse racing, we're there for every race meeting. Wincanton, all the venues we go to, the facilities are the bollocks. You know, whether it's the toilets, whether it's the actual grandstands, whether it's the restaurant facilities, whether it's even the, you know, especially the catering from the mobile units, it's superb. But the stadiums themselves are clean, they're immaculately presented. You know, just the whole thing. People's expectations now is their expectations much higher than it ever has been before, I think. Like I said before, they vote with their buck, don't they? They vote where they spend their money. And you can't blame them. You know, but the world's a different place now. You know, the COVID, the bullshit, the fucking, it's about controlling society. And I think the whole world is a different place. You know, we used to drive from country to country with no restrictions. And now you know, fucking struggle to get out of England, won't you?
Not sure what that is, but I love you, JD. Never change.
Yeah, but it's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right, what's Mark Collins put here? He's put Happy New Year from Oz, JD and Lee. Happy New Year, Mark. He's put
Second string riders you've ridden with, who would it be?
if you had to pick a 1 to 7 of second string riders you've ridden
Of second string riders, Kelvin Tatum. Sorry, Kel, if you're listening, you're probably not. You're probably in bed with your hot water bottle. Who would I pick second string riders? Yeah, but that's an insult because I'm going to name riders that anybody that was a second string would think they were better than a second string, wouldn't they?
Maybe we could say it like more like number 2s and reserves and number 4s.
Roscoe. I'd like to say, yeah, are we talking? Yeah, okay. Who I would class as a, you know, third heat leader type riders: Paul Hurry, who else? Neville Tatum, Roger Johns. I'd say Reg Wilson, but Reg was better than a third heat leader, really. See that, yeah. Glenn Taylor, if they were big tracks.
Someone's just suggested Dave Mullett.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Dave. You see now, I would have. Yeah, definitely Dave Mullett.
Oh, they're all suggesting now, John. My mum's just suggested Bernie Lee.
Ray Morton.
Ray Morton. Yeah, my mum just suggested Bernie Lee.
Who?
Bernie Lee. My mum.
Yeah, no, Bernie was a fantastic second string rider.
Oh,
that's the thing. There's so many of them, isn't there? Yeah, Bob Humphries. Yeah, Bolly Prock, Hans Wasserman. Yeah.
Barry Thomas.
Yeah, but they're all Reading. Barry Thomas was better than a second string. Barry Thomas was he was number 1 at Hackney for a while, wasn't he? Yeah, you could say Zenon Pleck, but because Zenon, when he was in England, probably was really a second string, maybe third heat leader, but in Poland or on the continent, he was world class. Totally world class.
Mum's put David Ashby.
David Ashby. Why not?
Top
but then
level,
Dave,
top
but
level
then
number
David,
7. Good number 7.
Say, in the top league, yeah, he was a second string, but in you know, when he rode in the National League, he was a top liner, wasn't he?
Nevin Keynes, yeah.
Frank Smith, John Hurry. There's thousands of them, and there's a lot. When you think back, I rode for a long period of time, so I can remember all those people, and you know, yeah, Richard Greer, you know, like fantastic rider around Peterborough. Weren't you the legend that was? He was seriously fantastic around Peterborough, but he never really made or fulfilled his potential in the top league. You know, it's like Neil, unbelievable second division Premier League rider. You know, I've seen him win so much in the Premier League, and on his day he could beat anybody in the top league, but not consistently week in, week out. And I love him to bits. You know, he's my brother from another mother. Peter Schrock, another one. You know, that level that they look great on their own. They're quick, but they never can quite make it to the top level.
The one that said never change was, he just wrote on there saying, sorry, that was me, Barney. So I'm presuming that's got.
Hello, Barney.
Hello, Barney. Hope you're good, mate.
I was hoping it was going to be a female Barnes.
The female Barnes. Someone's put Graham Jury, Big Bad Arthur Browning.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Keep going. There's literally thousands of them.
Did you have any?
Yuri Stansel. Yuri's better than that. You know, Yuri, like, again, world class on the continent.
Mm. Did you used to have nicknames for your bikes and engines and that?
Yeah. One of the ones that, yeah, I did. I'm trying to think what they were now. Oh, God. One of the ones that Lee had from me, and I think it's probably the one I won the golden helmet on. And we had it converted to a laydown. And I used it as a laydown, and I had 4 or 5 really, really good, you know, some engines. You can have 1,000 engines all built identically, but there'll be some, for some reason, some phenomenon that makes other, you know, some of them would be better than the others, and they will all have different personalities, characteristics, just a fact of life. And we had this engine that was particularly good, and Lee had it after me, and we used to call it the Beast. And he broke the track record at Arena Essex on it. He broke the track record in powder bits on it, and you know, it was one of those engines you know, they talk about not having the right setup. It's bullshit. It's absolute bollocks. You know, yes, you've got to have a bike that is rideable on the night, and you've got to be able to tune that bike to the conditions for the night. But when they, you know, you can have engines that will work around Wimbledon and use that same engine in Pardubice or Roslov or fucking Pila or wherever in Poland. You know, it's just, yeah, all this setup talk is bullshit. You have to have usable power. You have to be able to put it on the ground, and the bike has to be fast enough. But not being able to find the setup really is, I'm riding like a prick.
A lot of searching goes on then, doesn't it?
Eh?
A lot of searching goes on when you're not going well.
Yeah, I know, but just be honest, you know. Just, you know, we've all made excuses why we're not going well. Oh, well, you know, the Budgerigars ripped its toenail tonight, or, you know, just be a man about it and say I'm riding like a brick. You know, it happens. You know, we're all human beings. It's not, you know, I can't find the setup. It's, yeah. Ollie Olsen.
Get on well with Ollie. He's a great rider, obviously.
Yeah, Scott used to think his wife Ula had great breasts. we were on a plane going. We were flying to America from Australia or from New Zealand or somewhere like that. We're definitely on a plane. I know that. And we had the headphones on, listening to whatever. And Ula's obviously sitting in front of us, and she's got up to get something, or Ula and Ollie, she's got up to get something from the locker above the, you know, above your head. So she stretched up. She's got a tight t-shirt on, no bra. And I said, Scott. He's gone, what? I got, Scott, look at her tits. He's gone, what? I said, Scott, look at her breasts. He's gone, what? Because with the headphones on, you can't. I said, look at that. And obviously the whole plane heard. That was very embarrassing.
Oh, dear.
That was very embarrassing. But she's still a lovely lady till today. But that was, yeah, made us all chuckle a bit.
I've got Marvin Cox has just come on. He's put happy 2022 boys from Cocker.
Cocker, you have a great 2022. Hopefully it will be good for you. Where are you at the moment? Are you in Thailand or Sweden? I guess you're probably in Thailand. Look at that smile on your face.
Yeah, it'd be good to get him on. I'd like to.
Marvin was another rider. Never quite fulfilled his. Yeah, Marvin could have been world class. I mean, he was on his day totally world class, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the UK. Oh, okay. Where? Canterbury?
Tony Little here has just put, would you have liked to have ridden for the Bristol Bulldogs?
No, would I? Fuck. Well, fucking shithole.
Oh dear.
I had a horrendous crash there. I ended up in French A Hospital. I nearly lost my left arm in the first ever meeting there.
Yeah.
I don't know, 200 stitches put into my left shoulder. I've got a scar that runs from there right down below my chest. And my arm got broken across the top. Ollie passed it. Ollie Olsen came out. It was a bit loads of controversy. And everyone was going to walk out. And my dad said to me, "You fucking walk out of this meeting, my boy. I'll never speak to you again. I'll never go to a speedway meeting with you again." So I said, "Okay, Dad, I'll keep riding." And like the Jessups, I think PC, yeah, everyone was pulling out. Simo, they wouldn't ride. The track was so bad. We're walking around the track before the meeting, and there's like blokes in, I think, I'm trying to think what the track bloke's name was, but he was in a hole. He was that deep in a hole in the middle of the third and fourth corner. And Peter Thorogood, and they're like digging, it was a shithole. And they're cutting off wrought iron pieces of metal on the safety fence with octacetylene cutters and grinders, trying to get the place finished. And the track was obviously sand, because it was a greyhound track, so it was almost bottomless, like riding on the beach. And it just got deeper and deeper and bigger holes and bigger holes. And so my dad's made me, it was his fault.
Yeah.
I've made the start, I'm in front, and then I can't remember if it was Tormund Langley or Edgar Strangland, someone like that, T-boned me in the first corner. And we've all gone down, and like I've finished up on the ground, and my arms at this really weird angle. My leathers are ripped down here, and nice fluorescent yellow and silver leathers. And the blood, because it's so close to my heart, it's going. Every time my heart beat, the blood was just going like a fountain. They had the doctor was pissed up in the bar. They had two stretchers. I don't know if Gresh was in the crash as well. But the two stretchers they had, both Tormund Langley and Edgar Strangland, had hurt their legs. I've got I'm holding my arm onto my body because it's like fucked. I've cut through every ligament, like everything in that shoulder. Somebody's put a towel over the top of my arm so it's not squirting everybody. And I walked to the changing room, or to the first aid room, sorry, and they couldn't find the doctor. He's pissed up in the bar. So they put us straight in the ambulance and they took us all to the hospital, Frenchy. And I was in this isolation room. And when they came, they took me, cut the leathers off me, and they went to wheel me out of the isolation room to the operating theatre. And you could hear the blood, the wheels and the blood go as the trolley was moved forward. Oh my God. And they operated, it took them 7 hours, because I had to do nerve surgery as well, to put my arm back together. And I rode 14 days later.
Bloody hell.
At Hackney in a World Championship semi-final. I think I got 14. I was using the local anaesthetics in my shoulder.
Bloody hell. Don't make them like that now.
Nah.
Oh, he's going to Thai in a few weeks, Marvin said.
Okay, coming to Dorset.
Round the pool. Going to Thai in a few weeks. There's a nice one if I think that's Simon Cross, isn't it?
Yes, Crossy. And I'm not sure where it is. Maybe Coventry? No. Don't know. Actually, it might be Oxford. I'm not sure.
Not sure, an older one there.
Yeah, that's Oxford, yeah. Yeah, the old 2-valve Jawa.
See that Oxford's back for next year?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, with great interest. I hope they do really, really well.
See, they've not messed around, and they've got Nichols and Batchelor and a few going there already.
Who have they got going there? Scott Nichols?
Scott Nichols, Troy Batchelor, I think, yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the championship, the one below the main league, but yeah.
Who's in the main league?
Ipswich, Peterborough, not Swindon, unfortunately. We obviously last won the league and not going to ride now for the third year on the trot. So
say that again.
Swindon, they're not going to be running for the third year on the trot now.
Really? They won't run again.
I suppose
Once it goes that long, I
No.
hope to God I'm wrong, you know. But
yeah,
I just
same,
think I just think it's like Reading, you know. Reading, yeah, tragedy.
yeah. Someone just said about that, actually. I'm not sure it was. They said that they still drive past it. There's nothing there. You've obviously got the football stadiums there.
No, that's right. And then it's like this rubbish tip with a speedway track on it.
Yeah, the land that Smallmead was on was
There you
still
go.
empty.
There you go.
Not
Darren
really.
Golden just said the land that Smallmead was on is still empty all these years after the race is closed down. Pisses me off driving past it. It would fucking well piss me off as well, Darren. It was a fucking okay. It had gone downhill like all speedway stadiums. That's what we've been discussing, you know, and it's just fucking sad. But it shouldn't. They should never have just let them close it down like that. So it's Simo. Simo? Yeah, I think he probably is.
Yeah, it is. Did you get on well with him? He was a great rider as well.
Simo, yeah. Listen, he was. Simo was. Right, boys. we were in the Czech Republic again, and Simo had the experience of his life out there. He got absolutely slaughtered. He didn't drink, and for some reason he took it upon himself the night before the Golden Helmet to get absolutely slaughtered. And we're in this nightclub, and it's under the hotel. And the toilets, you had to take deep breaths. You'd have to take 10 deep breaths, and you'd run in, do what you have to do, and then run out again. And Simo's gone in there, and he's collapsed on the toilet, and he's taken the shit. He's got to take his trousers off, so he shat his fucking trousers on this toilet.
God.
And we had to get him up to the hotel room.
Yeah.
And we managed to. He had a separate hotel room to us. We were kind of lucky. They always used to keep. We used to have the same hotel room that they used to keep for us. And so Simo's got this room, and we left what we did. We hosed him off in his shower, and then we left him naked for the world to see. And we put shaving foam all over him. And there were two East German young girls that were looking, because out there it was the Czech Golden Helmet was a massive event, and the tickets would go on sale the day after or the week after this year's event, and they'd be sold out within 24 hours, 48 hours. And people had come from all over every Eastern Bloc country, as well as people from the West as well. And so these two young Berlinski girls, and they were looking for a bed, so they found this bed opposite Simo because we left the door open so they could see he was in a twin-bedded room, and there's just this old man with shaving foam all over him on one bed, and he's unconscious anyway. So we'll take the two girls thought they'd take the other bed. Simo woke up in the middle of the night, and these two girls were very, very fond of each other. And he had great joy in filling us in with all the details the next morning.
Oh, right.
And he was, he couldn't believe his luck. He couldn't believe it. He thought that was hilarious. He thought that unbelievable. But there you go.
What was going on here then? Dark guy.
That I would say that's probably a mechanics race. It's at Reading. The guy on the inside looks pretty fat, so I would say it's not your mate Andy, is it? I would say it's probably a mechanics race, and it's me just being the starting marshal.
Didn't think I'd ever see you do that.
There you go.
I was going to ask you. Go on, carry on.
No. The last meeting that ever happened there, I actually was allowed to hit the start button up in the referee's box.
I was going to ask you about.
I've got a bit of the stomach on me there. That's embarrassing. I'm as fat as Roscoe.
Did you have any? Was there any referees you actually got on with that you had respect for referees, or?
Was there any referees I got on with? There was I didn't really have too much to do with them. They were there to do a job, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I was there to do a job, and people. There was some good ones. There was some complete twats as well. Obviously, Graham Brody was quite a good referee in his day. Yeah, yeah. I didn't sort of hate referees. A lot of riders had things about referees, but I tried not to.
Yeah.
They're just doing a job.
That
That was the indoor in Birmingham.
Did you enjoy doing that?
No, I didn't really. I like it. I did quite well at it, but I didn't really like it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. Jan was very, very good at that.
Yes. I was speaking to him about it, yeah. He used to practice, didn't he, on the old ice when he got home and all that as well?
Yeah, no, he was very good at the indoor. So was Andy Campbell.
So
Roscoe
was quite good at that as well, wasn't he? Roscoe, I think, did well.
On the ice, I think he was probably all right, yeah. Probably, yeah. Billy Sanders and Peter PC behind me.
I love the Union Jack disc there. Nice.
Yeah, the old spoiler.
The
old back wheel spoiler. God, I don't know what that is.
British final, is it?
Yeah, British final, yeah, definitely a British final. One of the disasters, probably. That wasn't a disaster that year.
No. Was that a thing that you always regretted that you never won the British final? Because obviously I knew you were facing it for a few years.
I actually think I should have won it that year.
Yeah.
Because I ended up on 14, Kenny had 15, but he actually passed me in my last race. We met in the last race. And I was in front, and he picked up on one wheel and he T-boned me. And I should just laid my bike down, and he'd have been excluded. Because he hit me coming out, or he nailed me coming off the first turn of the last lap. And if I'd come off here, they'd have to have excluded him. So, but there you go. Hindsight's a marvellous thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, that one was for?
Don't know. Maybe Pride of the East or something like that. Well, yeah. That's a good shot. That's at the old Bellevue. It's Chris Moore on the outside. That was a serious track. That's at Swindon, obviously.
Yeah. That's Crumpy, isn't it? Is that Crumpy?
Yeah, Crumpy, Erie Stansel, and not sure.
Did you always like the Swindon track?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. As long as you've got the strong engines, you've got to have good motors, though. Got to have good. That's in part of it. Part of it is an exciting track to race on. It could change dramatically through the meeting. It just and if it rained through the week, the track would always be a good racetrack. Whereas if it was man-made water, if it was watered by the track curators, it was never as good as if it rained all week. When it rained all week, you had plenty of grip on it.
Yeah, like a natural water. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the level of dirt on the outside there, you can see it's rained there during the week.
Yeah.
And it's got loads of grip on the outside. Billy Sanders, me. Oh, that's John Louis on the outside or not? No. Mick Hines maybe at the back. I'm trying to think who had yellow and black leathers like that and rode for Reading.
Got some crowd as well.
Yeah, but that's how Speedway used to be.
100%.
You go back through any of these pictures where you can see the crowd.
Yeah, you see all the crowds.
Good little team. Andy Graham.
Yep, see Andy there.
See how good looking is that kit of mine. Bobby Austin was a bit of a hero.
Yeah, he's a styly, right?
Fucking lunatic. He was an absolute fucking psycho. Fucking some of the moves he used to pull off. Fucking hell.
He had a right style, didn't he? He was a stylish rider.
Sorry?
Stylish rider, Bobby, and he always used to be in that like proper white and
Yeah, he was spectacular, is the word. In Lulu.
That's brilliant. That's a bit of an older one there. Isn't it? Like them levers.
The racers. Denny Pyatt, he was a good rider, or would have been a good rider. Tragically got killed. PC thought I was up the inside of him, and he's trying to be a smart ass and waving at me. I actually went round him here.
Did you?
Yeah. It was. I think you'll find that's Wimbledon. Daily Express. You see the Daily Express Spring Classic. It's taken at Poole. My first ever brand new Jawa.
Nice. Put a face mask on the handlebars.
Yeah. Do you know why I had the clutch lever up like that?
What was that?
Up in the air, because Martin Ashby did.
What's it?
He was one of my heroes.
Oh, cool. That's brilliant.
And Ivan Major, when I went to the Ivan Major training school, Ivan Major said to me, "Why have you got your clutch lever up like that, John Davis?" And I said, "Because Martin Ashby does." He said, "Who the fuck's Martin Ashby?" He said, "Martin who?" He said, "Am I a better starter than Martin Ashby?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, you do as I do, I tell you." And Ivan Major, after I went to his training schools, we met. He wanted me to go and live in Manchester. And we met in Weymouth in a restaurant with him, my dad, and Peter Oakes. And they were trying to convince me to go and live at Ivan's and be like his protege. But it was like the other riders that had done it, he'd done it with another couple of riders and it had not worked out. A couple of New Zealand boys. And my dad said, "Look, if you're going to make it on your own. Because you might just end up cleaning bikes and being a slave up there." So I didn't go. This is Bellevue. There's Ken Air on the outside. I don't know who it is on the inside. The chopper bike race. That was some serious racing. Like, you think Speedway's hard. This was way more entertaining and way harder.
Yeah. Looks like everyone's on it there.
Sorry?
Looks like everyone's on it there. The concentration.
Yeah, blood used to be spilt here, trust me.
Was it?
Oh, fuck me, it was like World War III. It was always at the end of the season, Neil and I would drive up there from here just to go and play on fucking push bikes and
Brilliant.
win. You had to win.
Yeah.
You had to win. That's Sydney Showground.
Nice track there.
Yeah, loved it. Concrete wall for events.
Bit Exeter like then, was it?
Way more scary than Exeter. Way more scary than Exeter.
Oh, yeah.
But I really liked it, yeah. Wimbledon team, obviously. Young Kelvin Tatum.
Mentioned Peter Johns earlier, didn't we?
Eh?
Mentioned Peter Johns earlier and Gordon
Roger
there.
Johns, yeah. Roger Johns, Mike Freer, myself,
Andy Galvin,
Sidney, Kelvin, Gordon, and I'm not sure who the other one is. Andy Galvin.
Yeah, Andy Galvin.
Winning the golden helmet.
That was always a massive.
The old boy there. It's like we used to have champagne fights, and the whole place was, because it was communist when we first started going out there. They'd never really sort of seen anything like myself and Michael Lee, and we went out there the first time, and I think he came third and I was fourth, or second and fourth, something like that. And so when we were in the presentation, I can't remember if I think Yuri Stansel won it, or it was either Stansel or Olsen had won it. And it's all loads of pomp and ceremony, and we're in this place called the Grand Hotel, and it's a massive, great dance floor, and it's like a mini Royal Albert Hall. And they've got a stage, and they've all got their DJs on, and they're all sitting at tables eating their posh 3-course communist meal. And you can buy Russian champagne for 50p a bottle. So Michael and I bought a case each, and we've snuck upstairs onto the balconies. He's gone one side, I've gone the other. And as they're presenting the golden helmet, and this golden helmet is worth a lot of money. And now when you if you threaten to put water on one, they would go mad. And so they're presenting the golden helmet, and Michael and I just stand up and start squirting champagne over everybody below us. Like the whole place went deathly silent. You could have heard a mouse fart. And all of a sudden, everybody's picked up their champagne or Coke or anything they could get hold of, and they start spraying each other. And we had this massive champagne fight, and we thought we were in the shit. And so every year after that, whenever we went over there, the day before you'd sign in, you had to sign in at it's like it's an FIM thing that you have to go and sign in. You have to do qualifying or practice, and then you do the race meeting on the Sunday. And so every time we'd sign in, they'd kick a case of champagne under the table to you. You're like, Davis, champagne fight tonight, yeah, champagne fight, good. Because they couldn't do it themselves. They would have got locked up. But we could go there and get away with it. Yeah, and ever since that, it was always a ritual. Every year, you had to have a champagne fight. And you had to get on the stage and sing.
Oh, shit.
Shit, yeah. And they had this band that played every year. And all they knew were old Beatles songs and old Elvis songs. And they used to play Do You Want to Dance, Shake It a Baby, all this crap. Yesterday, and what was the other thing? Blue Suede Shoes. Now, we can do a bit of Elvis. And so we used to get on the stage, and they had this girl singing, and she was quite a pretty girl. And so I'd get on the stage, and we'd sing together. I'd like whatever song they were doing, as long as it was one that I knew, you'd join in.
Yeah.
And that was again a tradition that used to happen every year. And one year, all the boys were singing Blue Suede Shoes, and they all took their shoes off and threw all the shoes on the stage. It's just, we used to have fun, yeah. It used to be fun. And this old boy here with the old boy with the hat behind me, he was the starting marshal at part of it, so years and years and years, and he died about 5 years ago, I think. Part of it has a lot of history.
Good memory, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we used to have fun. We had some great fun.
Good times there. Talking about
Mitchell, yeah, I think that was don't know, maybe was that Wolverhampton? Best Affairs meeting at Wolverhampton. We came stuck into Wiggy in hands.
Don't think this ever happen again. Imagine that now being on the. I remember this saying about.
Yeah, right.
TV Times on the front.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, do you?
No.
Not
just shows how far, doesn't it? Though, Jesus.
Sorry.
Just shows you, though, doesn't it? Like back then, it was.
Yeah, no, it was. Listen, Speedway was well supported and it was popular, wasn't it? Fucking ugly, though. Trebor Yiblick and Jeff Bouchard and more. That's in Argentina. It's Giuseppe Marzotto and myself.
I like them face masks.
Which one?
I like both, the black and the silver.
Do you know how much those monkey masks make now? Somebody was saying they sold 250 quid or something.
I know.
And that, I think it's Walter Grubmuller on there. I think it says Memphis on his arm. He's an Austrian rider. Yeah. He rode at Exeter for 1 or 2 years. He used to be sponsored by Memphis Cigarettes. And while we were in Argentina, he set up a one-armed bandit circuit. You know, like the one-armed bandits. You know, just
Oh
the
yeah,
simple,
freak
simple
machines.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
gambling machines.
Yeah.
He set up hundreds of those in South
Yeah.
America.
Really?
And I don't know if it was in Colombia or if it was in Argentina or Peru or whichever country, or might have been over two or three of them. And he became a multi-millionaire through doing that trip to Argentina.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Mental.
It flies around in his own private jet now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Wow.
All through the one-armed bandits.
Unbelievable.
World Team Cup in Los Angeles, Long Beach.
Mr. Collins there.
Sorry?
Mr. Phil, that's Phil Collins, is it? Is it Phil Collins?
Yeah, it's Phil Collins, yeah.
Phil Collins, yeah. Someone's just
You
mentioned
can see
that.
we've both been
Bermuda shorts and that.
Yeah, we've both been shopping that day.
Yeah, the Bermuda shorts. I remember the old Bermuda shorts.
All right, don't take the piss.
No, I liked the Bermuda shorts. It was all good.
Whose idea was it to have Linda Lasardi on the back of your van? Me, because I thought she was gorgeous at the time. I just thought it was something different again. And it wasn't, no, it's a lie. It wasn't my idea to put on the back of the van, but I had this thing about it. And when I was in Diedenberg and Phil and the boys took the van over, I used to race for a club called Diedenberg, which is near Frankfurt. And a couple of the lads thought it would be a really cool thing to do to put Linda Lasardi on my van. So when I've done a meeting in England and I've flown out there, and when I've landed and I've arrived at the track, there's Linda Lasardi airbrushed on the back of my Volkswagen sponsored van. But Volkswagens didn't mind, loaders didn't mind, so, and I thought it was pretty good. So.
Yeah, I still remember as a young kid going down there doing that. There's like a woman's on the back of the van.
Yeah, why has he got a woman in the back of it?
Yeah,
I actually got introduced to her at Bournemouth she was doing a play down there or whatever in the theatre there.
Yeah.
And I got taken into her dressing room.
Did you?
And left alone with her. And it was while she was at her most famous.
Bloody hell.
Really nice lady.
Did you show a picture of your van?
No, I wish I had, but I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite that bumptious.
Yeah, brave. Someone must have a picture of that. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. That one on the back of that. I'd love to see a picture of it. I wonder if someone's got it.
I'm trying to think. I saw one somewhere, and I can't think where I saw it.
Someone must have.
I've got thousands of photographs somewhere. There must be one.
Craig P, great interview with JD as always. He's usual reserve South. All the best, John and me, for 2022.
Thank you, Craig P. Happy New Year to you too.
Not sure who's put that, but any memories of Romford Speedway when you rode there for Peterborough?
I never rode there for Peterborough, ever.
Who's that?
I rode at West Ham. But I never ever got to ride at Romford.
Oh.
And I believe that had a concrete safety fence as well.
Darren's, I could be wrong, but didn't you win the 16 lapper once? Is that the one?
Yes, I did once.
Ah.
It was 17 lappers when I won it. No, I did win it once, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was watching some on YouTube not long ago. It was they had about 14 reruns.
Oh fuck! But the master of that was Crumpy.
Crumpy was there, yeah. That's the one I saw.
Fuck me, he was good at that.
Yeah, loved it, didn't he?
Yeah,
loved it. Yeah, that's a proper.
Ha! John Jews, me. Those all the pictures that you see of Ivan with the golden bike, with his gold bike.
Oh yeah, I remember that gold bike. Yeah.
He was wearing those leathers.
Was he?
Yeah. And he let me have them.
Nice.
It was the only thing he ever let me have that he didn't charge me for.
Take that,
he'll probably send me an invoice now. And they were a bit tight, like on my waist.
Yeah.
As you can see there, they're pulling a bit. But I was like determined I was going to fucking wear them because they were
yeah.
There's Bobby McNeil next to me, and then Bob Radford, obviously Gordon, old Flo Bears, Richard Greer on the end, Webby on the right, kneeling down, Trevor Yiblik, and Eddie Reeves. That was my first. I think I was probably 17 there. Phil.
Try and get hold of Phil not long ago. They tried to sort out one. There's the old.
Oh, okay. Chris Fusey, now that was a legend, wasn't it?
Mm.
Did you ever see him ride?
I didn't know personally. No.
Fuck me, he was a legend.
77 I was born.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, no, he was still riding then.
Yeah, I just didn't remember it as in. Wish I did.
No, he was on the grass track. He was fucking spectacular.
Yeah, I remember him. He was always at Bellevue, wasn't he?
Yeah, he rode for Bellevue, rode for Halifax.
Bellevue, I remember him.
He rode for Weymouth for one season, and he used to stay at my house when he was down here.
So is that Gordon Kellett with the orange levels on, is it?
Yeah.
I reckon he's in there.
Yes, that's Gordon.
Mm.
Huh. We had on that tour. We went to New Zealand at the end of the tour for like a couple of meetings.
Yeah.
And I think it all started over washing powder for the bikes.
Yeah.
And Gordon wanted to borrow washing powder, and we wouldn't lend it to him. No, it was it. I can't remember. We wanted to borrow washing. That was it. We wanted to borrow washing powder from Gordon for the bikes. And he wouldn't lend us any. And then it was red hot, and he wanted to borrow some sun oil, so he told him to fuck off. So he put Castrolare all over himself. Got like 3rd-degree burns.
No way.
Bro, Gordon.
That's pretty.
I know he got really badly burnt, and because he put the Castrolare on him, and it was all because he wouldn't lend us soap powder, so we wouldn't lend him the sun cream.
A lot of guys from all over the world's been on here tonight as well. Gary Eden, good evening. JD Lee, happy New Year, cracking interview.
How pretty.
Yeah, very happy New Year for you for New Zealand. Bring back the days.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speedway leg ends.
You're definitely one of them.
Shit. Fuck me, I was young there.
Yeah. I meant legends as well, by the way.
Yeah. Chalky white.
The young one as well, the old English lion on there. Look.
That was taken at Leicester, and we'd just come back from Australia, and we'd won 6-1 or 6-0 or 6-6-1, I think it was. And so they then wanted to have an England against the Lions, which was like your uncle and all the old fogies against us youngsters, and we kicked their asses.
But that went down well then.
Yeah. We used to go on trips to Poland and places like that. Hi, John. Happy New Year. Hello, Carol. Happy New Year to you too, darling. Yeah, it was great. As long as you kept turning left at the end of the straight, there was nothing wrong with Hackney track. No, I enjoyed Hackney. It was a track I enjoyed riding. And, yeah, it was good fun. Good fun. Oh, fuck.
What's that in then? I was just looking at the summer. There's something boy, it says. Can't see it.
Oh, boy. That's like a My Guy. I did My Guy as well. You got My Guy there as well. No? They weren't gay magazines. They were teeny bopper magazines in the day.
Yeah.
No, I promise you.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You're like a bit of a porn star there, really.
Yeah. Just... Did you guys, obviously it was always good for the sponsors and things like that, but did you just personally was it always cool to be on the front of the magazines and stuff like that? It's always good.
Say that again.
It's always, did you always enjoy being on the front, getting on the front of all the Speedway stars and the magazines?
Yeah, but we used to do things like Page 7 Fellas, and do you remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that?
No.
Okay, Page 3 was Linda Lasardi.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I remember that.
Samantha Fox and things like that.
Yeah, I remember Samantha Fox. Yeah.
Page 7 were people like me.
Oh, I didn't know.
You don't know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, there you go. Now it's page 10, 11, and 12 because I'm too fat.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, we used to, Andy Campbell, I think, did it as well. Bruce Pennell never did it, of course.
No.
But no, we used to do stuff like that. And I remember phoning up Andy Campbell, pretending to be some magazine from fucking somewhere or another, and I set up a photo shoot with him, and he had to take his bike up these stairs, and it was in London, central London, and he had to take his bike up these stairs, and it never happened anyway, and it was just a wind up. It was just a wind up. I seem to remember winding Peter Johns up as well, and we were in the Czech Republic, and he woke up he was unconscious. Then he woke up, with a young lady from Reading, under a bed. Nothing happened whatsoever. He still had all his clothes on and everything else. And then when he came back home, and so we phoned up pretending to be the police from Reading, and saying that he'd been cited in a rape case.
Oh my God.
We did tell him it wasn't true after a while. Left him a couple of hours.
Jesus, somebody's having a heart attack. Rape case.
Yeah. Said the police car will be around to pick him up in an hour's time.
Jesus, somebody's having kittens.
But it was just like harmless fun.
Yeah.
Everyone used to muck in together. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good banter used to go on there.
Eh?
A lot of good banter used to go on then.
Yeah. Everyone was really good mates.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was taken.
Did you prefer to be part of a team, or did you like the individual racing, or you like both, or prefer one or the other? Or
I like both. You know, it's always good to be part of a team. You've got a load of mates with you, but then it was good to ride in big individual meetings as well.
You always seem to do. Obviously, you won a lot of special meetings abroad. A lot. Always did well over there.
I think I would love to have ridden in the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That would have been my scene. Because me personally, I think I was better abroad than I ever was in England. I don't know why. I like the big fast tracks, and I like the atmosphere abroad. And I think that's what being world class is about: being able to go like anywhere in the world and win races.
Yeah.
Not just at Wolverhampton. I mean, not being funny. Who the fuck's ever going to win anything at Wolverhampton? It's been a great place for breeding good riders, but you've got to travel, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's probably King's Lynn.
Do you used to do like training in the winters? Did you used to ride on motocross bikes and things like that, like a lot of the guys did?
I wasn't very good on a motocross bike, but yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was a disaster waiting to happen. I was. It's like first motocross I ever did was at Aldershot, and I got given a motocross bike to train on, and Michael Leakes. In the day, we were really good mates, but we still are, and just don't speak to each other very often. And Michael was an excellent motocrosser. His dad was a motocross rider.
Yeah.
And we went to this motocross it was somewhere in Aldershot on the army grounds there.
Yeah.
And I've made a blinding start, and I've got to the first turn, I've dropped it. And it's like, there's 40 blokes running over me. And what the fuck? Anyway, so I pick myself back up, get going again, and there's these whoop-de-doos. And so I thought, this piece of piss, I'll fucking clear the whole lot in one go. So I didn't go over them like they do. I went, hit the first ones like flat out and tried to clear the whole lot. Well, I didn't quite make it. And so I've landed on the top of the last one.
Straight over the bars.
Mess. So then I gave up. I didn't really rate motocross much after that.
Oh, Sam's here. Sam's put John Davis is the best speedo rider ever in Reading races.
Thank you, Sam. That's definitely a compliment with all the riders they've had. And I wouldn't maybe necessarily agree with you. I think probably Per Johnson's the best rider that ever rode for Reading, or Anders Michenek. But thank you very much. Graciously received.
Gary's put, why has the Godden outlasted the Westlake and the Godden is still doing long track?
Gary, I really don't know. I don't know. Actually, yeah, if Paul or Graham Hurry are still listening, because Graham was very, very involved with Goddens. but I believe there would still be some Gordon engines around doing long track, I'm sure. But the the Gordon was a very well built engine. I was the first rider to make a world final on one of his engines.
I was going to ask you this as well. Were there any British teams that that you wish you hadn't signed for, and why?
Yeah, Wimbledon, when they went to Eastbourne, I lasted 2 or 3 meetings at Eastbourne and then just told them to poke out their ass and went to Poland. That was when Phil and I lived in Poland for 3 months. Eastbourne was one of those tracks was okay to go to as an away rider, but I didn't really want to go there every week. Not my idea of fun.
Was there any British League teams that tried to sign you and that you never did get to ride with them, or?
I think probably every British League team at some point tried to sign me. It's like when I went to Poland for that 3 months, I think every team in the British League phoned the Gdansk hotline trying to get me to come back and ride for them, and I wouldn't. Excuse me. And then I came back to Swindon. Got 18 my first meeting back. And we had, because that was when they were threatening having relegation and promotion. And Swindon were in a position of getting relegated, but we ended up not getting relegated because I came to the rescue.
Good.
I did a Roscoe.
Shame you got hurt that time because you was absolutely flying as well.
Yeah.
Getting like maximums week in, week out when you're home and away, and then bloody got injured.
Yeah, Bo Brell fucking wiped me out. But there you go. Such is life.
Yeah, not good. Who was you said were the best British speedway promoters over the years?
Best speedway promoters. Number one would have to be Matt Ford. Closely followed by Peter Oakes in his day. Len Silver, who was a showman.
Yeah.
Colin Pratt. And I'm trying to think of the name of the guy that's at Peterborough at the moment. Who's the promoter there?
Someone that's going to tell us. Someone to tell us.
Yeah.
Fair play to everyone. They've still got well over 100 online now. Fair play to them all. Love them
really?
tonight. Yeah. There's never been less than 100 on live all night, even after all the trouble we give.
Yeah. There'd have been thousands online if you didn't give
I
me all
know.
that shit.
I know. If I had played the music. I'm joking. Dare I say, who were the worst promoters?
Who are the worst promoters? Reg Fearman, Terry Russell, there was when I had a documentary made about me, the guy that was the producer was a guy called Mark Sharman. And Mark Sharman was, he'd never had anything to do with Speedway. Fred Dinage was the guy that was doing all the interviewing and with myself, my dad and Phil. Mark Sharman was the producer, and they virtually lived with us for a month, going to every Speedway meeting at Poole, coming to the workshops, my house, all that sort of stuff. And I got to know this Mark Sharman pretty well. Anyway, about maybe however many years later, 10 years, might have been 12 years, 8 years, I can't remember now. But I had a phone call from Mark Sharman, and he said, I'm now director of sport at Sky Sports. So he is the top man at Sky Sports. There is nobody above him, only God. And he said, I fell in love with Speedway. He said, I'm now in a position where I can do something about it. And he said, I'm desperate to put Sky onto Speedway onto Sky. He said, how do I go about it? So I said, well, the best thing you can do, obviously, is contact the SPA. you know, that is your point of call. You have to go to the BSPA. And I said the main man at Sky is Terry. I've forgotten his surname already. Swindon promoter. What's his name?
Russell.
Terry Russell.
Mm.
He is the main man at the BSPA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't go, well, actually, I can do this for you, and I can take, I'll take commission for doing it. I'll act as an agent. Now, Terry Russell was the employee of the BSPA, and whoever had gone from Sky, Mark, and I phoned Terry and told Terry that Mark would be phoning him, and I told Mark that I'd phoned Terry and done the intro, and he was expecting his phone call. Now, this is where Speedway fucks itself royally every time, because there were then finder's fees or commission taken out of the Sky money, and that's wrong. Me personally, I feel that's wrong.
Mm.
But there you go.
David just put, JD, would you have liked to have rode for Cradley in their great teams of the 80s?
Yeah, of course it would. Everyone would love to have ridden for Cradley. Who wouldn't want to ride for Cradley in the 80s? But then would a team be able to accommodate myself and Bruce? Let's be honest. He's so fucking ugly. Yeah, no, I'd love to have ridden for Cradley.
Mm.
You know, they had some great riders. Yano, Eric, Bruce, you know.
Mm. You got on with a lot of the Americans, though, didn't you? You had a lot of good relationships.
Sorry?
You all right? Can you still?
You've gone all funny again. You look like you've caught COVID.
I've already done all that. Can you see me all right now?
Do you believe in that?
What's that? COVID.
COVID.
Well, I've had it. What about you?
I think it was a load of bollocks.
Like weird flus.
Yeah, I just think it's about control. It's about controlling people wanting to control us, isn't it?
Yeah, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Seems like it's going to go on forever now, doesn't it? Jesus. Bet you love a face mask, don't you?
Yeah. I refuse to wear them. I won't wear them.
Yeah. Oh, that goes down well then.
Yeah, well, why should
you get the looks when you go places? Even when you didn't have to wear them anymore in public places. Did you get the people that stare at you if you've not got it on?
Yeah, but that's bullshit. Because the whole thing, how can the flu bring the world to its knees? It can't. Yes, it's a virus, and yes, it's killed some people, but so have car crashes, so have plane crashes, so has cancer. So if somebody has proved positive with a COVID test 2 weeks ago, then drives down the M6 and has a blowout and dies, they're down as a COVID death.
Yeah,
and that's crap.
That is definitely going on. Yeah, I've heard that.
That's bullshit. How can they not tell you what they put in the vaccine? They've been given a 50-year, they don't have to divulge anything for 50 years, do they? About what they've put in everybody's body.
Have you had them? Have you?
What?
The vaccines?
No.
I have had them. You always ill after them as well.
You have or haven't?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always bloody ill after them as well. So.
There you go.
And then I still got it anyway.
Yeah, but we have to test every time we go to a venue. We test, regardless of whether you've had jabs or you haven't had jabs. Then you still have to test, and we lateral flow test every day when we're at an event.
Yeah.
I haven't caught it, and we've been at festivals, we've been at horse racing, we've been at music events, we've been at sports events, we've been at Bewley Museum every week.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's going to catch it, we should have. We've not had. We've had one member of staff catch it, and she think she caught it the night before last. She tested positive today.
Just seems like it never bloody ended.
Yeah, it's mental. It's absolutely mental.
I just think we just all need to get on with it. That's what I think now.
Yeah, you're never going to have immunity, are you?
No,
If you lock yourself away, you're never going to have any immunity whatsoever.
No, I just think get on with it now because at the end of the day, like you said, Jesus, it's already 2 years down the line already. So,
yeah, exactly. And how many companies have gone bankrupt? How many millions of people are seriously in trouble? You know, people up north can't even feed their kids.
It's crazy.
And that's wrong. You know, the food banks have never, ever been so busy.
Started it off now.
I'm a pure blood too. That's it. We're pure bloods. It is bollocks.
Oh, God.
How did I get on with Pat Bliss at Reading? On a good day, she was okay. But unless you were Swedish, she thought she didn't want to know you. She was a Jan fan. A Yanny fanny.
Jan fan.
No, a Yanny fanny.
I still remember I've got that. This is 8 years and years ago. I did a written interview. You sent you questions and you wrote back to me. And I remember there was something in there and I've not ever put it out.
Yeah, you couldn't put everything out there, I say. But no, Pat Bliss, Pat and her dad were very, very good for Reading Speedway. But in my view, Frank Higley, who was there, went right at the beginning and got absolutely fucked. And I'm not saying by them, but they wanted it for themselves. They didn't want any outsiders in there. And it wasn't so much for the speedway; it was more for the dogs, I think, because the dogs are where the big money is. And you know, they just made it awkward for people that were to stay involved. But Pat did like a Scandinavian rollers.
I was laughing. I remember what it says now.
Okay?
I was laughing for ages. It was like, I think it was, the quote was, there was more atmosphere in Pat Bliss's briefs, let's say, than at Eastbourne.
Then what?
Than at Eastbourne.
Yeah.
There was more atmosphere in there. I was cracking up. Oh.
Well, you got to have a sense of humour.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I just remember everything you wrote. You wrote something in brackets afterwards, going, "You might not want to print that bit."
Listen, at the end of the day, all this is what is it they say when they write letters like non-disclosure letters? Without prejudice.
Yeah.
This is all without prejudice.
Of course it is. Yeah. I thought, shall I say at the start?
And it's all just my opinion, and nothing other than an opinion.
Of course it is. Yeah. A lot of it's having a laugh as well, which not many want to do these days. I keep hearing the word snowflakes around all the time. That's all I ever hear people quoting at the moment.
The word what?
Snowflakes.
Snowflakes. There's fucking a lot of those in the world. I know that.
That's all I hear people saying. Go, no, you can't say this, can't do this, can't do that, can't say that.
Yeah, but it's bullshit, isn't it? We live in a fucking politically fucking incorrect bullshit world now.
Oh, brilliant. Andy Hobbs has just said, John was not only a top rider, but I know my bacon rolls and he is on it. We had a chat. We had a chat a few times on his food stores. He may remember me, the magic man with the boat. May be my trademark.
Yes, I do remember Andy Hobbs.
Yeah,
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, we try to produce a good bacon roll. We do think we produce good food. But it is, you know, it's like anything you do in life, isn't it? You want to do it to the best of your ability. And I want to sell good food. I don't want to sell shit.
Is that all going well now, John? After the COVID? Is that all going okay?
Yeah, no,
it's not getting back on track.
Yeah, no, it's been very, very good. We had we didn't start the World Motocross Grand Prix was the first event last year.
Yep.
Which was the third week in June. Yep. Then we went straight from there to the Festival of Speed at Goodwood, and and we were just on a roll then, and we just never stopped. Yeah, we may be doing Ernie this year in France for the Grand Prix. You're nodding your head like a fucking muppet.
No, because I just
What's happening in Ernie this year? What's happening in Ernie?
Is that the donations or?
No, you fucking knob.
What's happening? What is happening?
The Nations is next year in Ernie.
Next year, is it?
Yeah, they've got a Grand Prix there this year. They've asked us to go and do the Grand Prix.
You've done a few of them, haven't you? You've done a few of them, haven't you? You've done a few of them, haven't you? The Nations and all that.
Yeah.
And then the Grand Prix.
Yeah. And the Matterley one's in the 20th of February.
Yes, it's early, isn't it? Yeah, really early.
Yeah.
I went to the one this year just gone. It was the first time I've actually been.
That was the third week in June.
Yeah. I went and took photos. So it's really early, February, isn't it? Are you going to be there as well?
No, it's very early. But I think the reason it's that early is because, reading between the lines, the Nations is in America.
Yeah.
And if the Nations don't happen in America, then Matterley will be their backup. That's what I think.
That's an amazing venue. I've not been there, but I see it all on there, and the atmospheres from nations gone by. When that Ernie is mental, isn't it? Like
just Google, go on YouTube and Google mental. Ernie MXON.
It's mental.
Unbelievable.
The atmosphere there, that's proper, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the 90s in the UK at Fox Hill.
No, that's right. It's exactly right.
Proper,
and it's like Speedway was in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, and while you guys were all superstars. It's all reminisce now, isn't it?
Yeah, but that tells you something, doesn't it? And it's not just like sad old racers that think their day was better or their era was better. Look on the terraces. It was better. It was successful then. It made money then. And the riders made money then.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, now it's like, fuck.
Penny's on the, she did the actual finish, she does the flags on the old finish line. She did it at my meeting as well.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She'll be doing it again. We're in Oxford in April.
Oh, yeah? What are you catering doing there? April we could probably do.
I'll speak to you about that. Look at Andy at Hobbs. Look, he's put, you could give Gordon Ramsay a run for his money on the F word.
Fuck off, Andy. I'll try not to swear anymore.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the John Smith trip to Poland? I think he was.
Yeah, I did. John Smith was a good guy. You know, he wasn't maybe always appreciated with what he did. He thought he was Captain America. He was what we used to call a wannabe. He wanted to be American, and he was the American team manager for a couple of years, and Speedway was in his heart, and he ran the trips to Pardubice as well for the Golden Helmet, and I didn't agree with some of the things that happened out there. Not, you know, there's no fault of John's, but just that he took people out there that took the piss out of the Czechs unknowingly. It was like they were like wild animals unleashed from a zoo, because they went when we were in Pardubice, we would be like, we always had a room with a balcony. And not a big balcony, but it was like a little kind of semi-balcony. And we would always take, I don't know, I'd get Malcolm Fripp, who used to make all my stickers. I'd get to do overruns on stickers, and we'd take thousands out there. Autograph cards, that sort of thing. And we would throw down, if there was 1,000 kids outside the hotel, we would throw down 2,000 stickers or 2,000 whatever. We'd always throw down way more than the number of people that were there. But English being English, they can't control themselves. They can't help themselves, can they? And when they first started going out there, they thought it would be funny to rip, because the kids would to them, that was like throwing $5 bills out there, and they would almost fight for them. But then they would rip up newspapers into strips, and they would throw those down, and they would come down slowly like that. And the kids thought that they were throwing stickers out the same, you know, and they would be scrabbling on the ground. And it was like, to me, that was embarrassing. And I think it was a cruel thing. It was a cruel thing to do to kids.
Mm.
You know, we never did anything that hurt or embarrassed people, you know. And then when the English fans first came there and they started doing shit like that, it made me ashamed to be English.
Not cool,
because it's wrong. Uncool. Definitely uncool.
Very uncool. I've just seen something very cool though. I just checked my thing because someone was sending me a message and it come up on my phone. It's from Tracy and she's got a picture of your van. Hey, here we go. Hopefully you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's get it. It's all in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Beautiful. There it is.
She did have great breasts, didn't she?
Yeah, I remember making a special trip down to your van when I was a young kid doing that. Jesus.
Really?
Probably about 200 trips.
Yeah.
Doing that as a topless woman on John Davis's van.
We used to have a driver called Grubby, and you know that van could tell some stories. Yeah, I mean, it really could tell some stories. Like after parties and stuff like that in Vetlander Town Square. Simon Cross, when we were at God, I saw him at the dinner the other night, the World Speedway Riders dinner.
Yeah.
And he reminded me of we were in Vetlander and we parked my van up because I had the best sound system in the world, and it was all like pin button velour inside. You open the side door and it was all kitted out with bunks and beds and big old speakers, boombox. So we cranked it. We just qualified for I think it was probably 88. Something like that, and we qualified for the World Final. And we're having this impromptu party in Vetlander Town Square, and all the local drunks have come round, like quite a few of the local girls. Crossy, Crossy, Cocker, Wiggy, myself, and obviously all the mechanics, all the boys, and the old alkies are like desperate to get hold of alcohol. And so we filled up some vodka bottles with methanol, and we've given them to these alcoholics over there. And they proceed to drink the methanol, and it's like it just
absolute classic.
But they all seemed happy enough.
We're gonna have to do a part 3 at some point, John.
Why?
This is just gonna be like a continual life thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's like Gibby. Do you remember Neil's mechanic, Gibby, Chris Gibb? He came, and when Neil retired, Gibby came to my team, and like Philip and Gibby, and then we had Grubby, who was a driver. We had Gibby, Grubby, and Phil, and like just stuff like we would. Gibby would always get pissed on the ferry. If Gibby could not help himself, he had to get pissed on the ferry every fucking time. But you couldn't wake him up. So we used to take his socks off and we'd put matches between each of his toes, and then we'd set light to them, one after another. And that was the only way we could wake him up. Or we'd dip his hand in warm water, you know, like so you pee yourself. When you're asleep. Or like driving down, the first time you ever take anyone abroad, you're driving down the Autobahn and there's signs for Ausfahrt. Ausfahrt means exit in German. But when you're there for the first time, nobody knows that Ausfahrt means exit in German, do they? No. So we'd say, there was no sat navs. So we'd say, can you find Ausfahrt on the map, please? And they'd go, can't find it. Another couple of miles, another exit, Ausfahrt. It's got to be it must be close. Big old signs, look. It's got to be close, mate. So they'd be looking, can't find it. Keep going. Every exit, where the fuck, Ausfahrt? Why can't you find it? Go in that fucking garage and ask him there. So you pull up in the service station, you'd send them into the petrol station to ask where Ausfahrt was. know, just shit like that. It just used to. It was good fun. You had fun.
Yeah, exactly. Proper fun and did it all. Did it all.
Did it my way.
Did it my way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Actually, you could do a book. Can you call it "Did It My Way"?
Oh, how you ain't done a book, I don't know.
Eh?
How you haven't done a book, I don't know.
Because you couldn't print half of it.
Oh yeah, Jesus, you do.
Because I can only tell you little bits, can't I?
Yeah, exactly.
I can only tell you little bits, and
Yeah.
like all my friends are probably still happily married at the moment.
Yes,
Could release the book.
Yeah, can't
And
say
you
it.
have mass divorces in Speedway.
My mum's like, yeah, I could write a really good book about Swindon Speed. I was like, nah.
No, don't do that, Mum. Don't do that.
Get us in trouble.
Don't do that. We were driving through. Grubby was driving. Grubby used to pride himself that he could drive all the way to Poland and back, or the Czech Republic and back, or to Austria and back without stopping and without taking a break and never getting lost. And we were racing in Austria, Wiener Neustadt, and we were getting a bit late getting there.
Yeah.
And we've come to these traffic lights, and we're waiting to turn. We're waiting to turn left, and we're trying to turn left, and like fucking in the end we just went fuck it, go. So Grubby's gone, and this car swerved to miss Grubby, and he's gone through this shop window, like from the traffic lights. Fucking great shop, pane glass window, like fucking massive job. So we've turned left. This fucking bedlam's broken out of the traffic lights. We've gone round and we're trying to find the track. We can't find the track. 5 minutes later, we're back at the same traffic lights. And everyone's pointing. There they are. They're the bastards there. And we just said, Grubby, just fucking go, Grubby, just go. And we went, and everyone's pointing and following us. And we got to the track and nothing more happened. But the car was still stuck in the shop front, in the shop window.
Oh,
There's loads of stories.
So many.
Yeah, skiing trips. Oh.
Some not printable.
No. Skiing trips are the ones. I'm in the bed. I'm on the bed. This is in the bed.
I appreciate your time, buddy. We'll definitely have to do a part 3 at some point.
Not a problem. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to you, mate. It was an absolute pleasure again with you. Awesome.
Well, it was once we got going, you fucking knob.
It wasn't me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but how was your man? All I could hear was, and Bobby's coming on from 7 to 8, and
one more.
he can only do an hour. He can only spare an hour, but he'll be on at 7 o'clock, and he'll be.
That's it.
And I'm like trying to fucking log in, and you're going, and all I can hear is Bob Moore. Who the fuck's Bob Moore?
He's an American worker, was it? Yeah, you basically. I don't know how the hell that was going on, by the way. From that link that you were seeing other interviews, that was weird. I've never had that before ever. So.
First time for everything, my boy. It is 2022.
That's it. That's got weird. We've started off in a good way.
Scary shit.
So when John goes now, I shall close it up with the music anyway. Maybe that's what sent it all
fucking slap.
Maybe that's what sent it all weird earlier when I was playing music off of here.
I'm at the start and I'm ready to go. The green light's on. Off we go. Just like a star that rides the sky at night. I'm off like a flash under the neon light.
Boom. I love this. I'm still going to keep playing it, by the way. I don't care.
It should be redone. You could actually do it.
You should.
It could be done. It could be done.
Anything for charity, anything. It'd be mint. It'd be good. I've not stopped playing it.
Yeah, and laughing.
Although I love it. I do love it. I love it. I've been trying to get the words down. Me and Adam that you...
oh, right. Yeah. Your man. Your fat man.
That was so funny. You go through... and he was on the screen. I was like... Oh,
but you would say something and then it'd keep repeating, but it wouldn't just
I heard
repeat.
it. Yeah, it's weird.
It wouldn't just repeat once, it was repeating like 3 and 4 times.
Yeah, because I could see you in there and I could hear myself like about 5 minutes later saying the same thing. I was like, what? Yeah, it was weird. But at least we got it sorted out in the end and everyone had a good night. Well, it's about everyone's saying Thank you both for a great night. Happy New Year to you both. Here's to the next one.
See you, gorgeous. Don't ever change.
Right. Happy New Year to JD and Lee. All the best, Pee Wee.
Thanks, Pee Wee.
Great interview again,
Hey,
John.
Pee Wee's a superstar.
Brilliant night's entertainment. Thank you, Lee and John. Yeah, Peter's. Where with
Where
Egon?
with Egon? Egon's got a furry what? Dankeschön, mein Freund, mein Liebling. Super sehr schön.
Looking forward to part 3. It's a thing now. Look, John, everyone loves it. It's the thing now. This is going to be a next.
Yeah, but you could listen. You can tell so many stories.
Yeah.
But like to you, it's just normal. But to other people, it's not.
Mm.
You know, it's like the thing in Part of Bits. Yeah, the one night I got off the stage. You're not going to believe this. Like I've been singing with this bird. And I got off the stage, and it's the night before the Golden Helmet. It's like the night after was like the official celebration, and the oh fuck off, Peter, and, and like the night before was like all the commoners are allowed in, like all the people from like Eastern Europe, you know, like from Berlin and all that, like those birds from Berlin and that sort of thing. But you'd get in this miniature Royal Albert Hall, you'd get 2,000 people, 3,000 people, and the bird would be singing, and I get like the boys would push me up on the stage, and I'd sing with her, and I did a couple of songs and got off, and the fucking crowd went mad, and they I had to get back on the stage. The police made me get back on the stage.
Did they?
Honestly, yeah, yeah, it was such good fun.
I honestly think, like I think I mentioned it to you before bloody COVID and all that was all mental. I said to you before, I think we should do a night review, like an evening thing, so then you can say things that you can get away with saying not on here. Get the stories out. Get the stories out for a night. An evening with JD.
Yeah, maybe it's worth thinking about. Good fun.
I think it would be fun. Plus, no one won't have it recorded, so no one can see what's been said. You've got to be there to see. You've got to be there to hear the story.
Got to be there.
Got to be there. No recording. Put your phones away.
That would be good fun. It
would be good fun. I think I'm going to speak to Kevin about that again, because that was a plan for us to do a few of these, and then obviously all the COVID there, you can go anywhere, can't go in hotels, can't do blah blah blah.
Fucking load of bollocks.
Hopefully this year at some point.
Just everybody you know that's had COVID, they've all been jabbed, haven't they?
I've had 2 and I got it straight after too. So shit. Right, appreciate your time, John. Much appreciated.
You're more than welcome, mate.
Much appreciated. I'm going to leave you all with John's song in a minute when he's left.
That's why you want me to go, isn't it, you fucking
yeah, I do want to play it before I go, before I wet myself and have my tea.
Wet yourself and have your tea? What in that order? You're going to wet yourself and have your tea?
Yeah.
What's happening with the catering on the motocross? It said it's in April, isn't it?
Yes. Sort of have spoke to someone and sorted it, so
if you've got a decent number of people there, I'll do it myself. But
yeah,
now you're in a sensible place, a sensible track.
Yeah,
because you'll get more people there anyway. How many did you get? How many did you get at the last one? Thanks, Darren. See you, sunshine.
It's not so good because you're down in Devon, like you said. It's a bit further out the way for a lot of them people.
Yeah, but how many did you get?
Yeah, it was quite a lot of people there. It was like
how many?
300. I don't know.
Do it after Saturday night at the reunion meeting.
Yeah, in the beer tent.
Yeah,
with the mic. Me and JD live on the mic. I'll have all the words written down from the song by then. Anyway.
Only if you're going to come and be my flag girl, honey.
Yes, she's going to come and be our flag girl, so that's cool. Look, someone's put, you play the song. Oh, look forward to the audience with JD solo. Yeah. I definitely think we could do that in a hotel, have a night, and people can have food and all that sort of stuff. And a couple of hours.
That would be good. That would be good fun. That would be like a proper night.
That's what I mean.
Decent
a couple
hotel,
of hours.
decent meal.
Yeah. A couple of hours, some stories. It'd be good. No
you
phones.
You probably, eh?
No phones out.
No phones.
No phones got to be put
whatsoever.
away. Can't record what's being said.
Eh?
Can't be recording what's being said.
No.
No evidence. But yeah, we'll definitely look at doing so. I'd like to do that. That was a plan we had until oh, shit. But yeah. Right. I'll speak to you soon. We'll keep in touch with you anyway. I will speak to you soon, JD. Thank you very much for your time. Proper leg end.
Do your fucking worst. Do your worst. Go on.
I am. I'm going to. I swear, I reckon that my phone went all, because sometimes these things on the lives get affected by phones and stuff. So maybe when I was playing this, it did it. I don't know. And let me take this speaker thing out as well, my ear things, otherwise people won't hear. Anyway. Can you still hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, okay. That's a shame. Right. Let's get this going. I played this before you come on. I love it. I love the porno music as well.
Yeah.
I'm at the start.
I'm ready to go.
The green light's on. Off we go. Just like a star that brights the sky at night. I'm off like a flash under the neon lights. With 3 winds already, I'm looking for a 4. The smell of the fumes that filling the air. The crowd are anxious without despair.
I love it.
Their shouts, their screams, their
The passions rise.
You win for the sake of my side. Now it's 2 laps done and 2 to go. I open the throttle, but the bike is too slow. The engine's missing, it's starting to stall. Oh God, will I win this race at all?
Tracy loves it.
3 laps done, 1 to go. I can see the yellow flag. The bike is still too slow. I can hear the crowd. They're on my side. I must keep going. Enough trip wide. I think the engine's clearing out. Am I okay? Please keep going and make it my day. Their shouts, their cheers, they're in my ears. Faster, faster with the cheers. The bike's okay, the bike's okay. I can feel the power now, all the way. Yes, the winning line's in sight. The crowd is waving, it's all blue and white. 50, 40, 30, 10. I'm crossing the line. Hey man, thank God I won again.
Yeah, okay, Darren. Mine too.
I love it. I'm getting in the car. We're going global with this, JD.
Hey, if you could remix it, you could do it properly.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, now the screams and shouts subside. I've survived another ride. Now the crowds all disperse. They rose me so high, but now I'm back on earth.
That's all right.
Yes, thanks to Speedway, this thing's full. But most of all, yeah, it's you, the people and fans.
I love you.
I love you, JD. Woo! Woo! Stephen said it, so it was 1979, is that right?
Hey?
1979, is that right?
Yeah. Hey, you had to fucking be able to win races with shit like that going round.
100%. We love you, love it. Oh, I'd love to see that. Got to get that out there. Got to get that out there. I love it. I've been playing it solidly all week. You think I'm taking the
You're
piss?
sick. You're fucking sick.
No, I am very
You never
sick.
were with your mother.
Yeah. She'd encourage me to put it on anyway. Oh, I love it. Definitely a golden oldie. 100%.
Yeah, but it wants doing properly. That you actually could do something with that.
Oh, God, that would be epic. How do we do this? Someone must know someone. Let's do it. Let's go global with that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Christmas things they do these days? Of like, what was that one they've been doing about singing about a sausage roll or something, wasn't it? With Elton John.
Oh, yeah.
He sings it to me every morning. I've been trying to get the words down.
He sings it to me.
I love it. She's going, Jesus Christ, you stop playing that all the time. I was like, I can't. Oh, by the way, I will let you on a bit of a secret, John.
Go on.
I might have sent it to a few Speedway riders because I thought, who can I send that to? And then they'll appreciate it.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Because I was so impressed with it. I sent it to Marvin Cox. I think I sent it to Colin Richardson, Dennis Sagalos, Eric Gunderson. I'll read what Eric Gunderson said. So I said
You've blown any credibility I'd left in my life has gone out the window.
Oh, I just wanted to share it with all the Speedway boys. Eric Gunderson. So I said, how you doing, Eric? All good, thanks, my friend. I'll try. Blah, blah, blah. Merry Christmas, my friend. Who sings this? I didn't tell him to start with. See, they had to guess. This was the game. Oh God, he's going. He put a laughing face and he's put, it must be the worst song ever in capitals recorded. Bit harsh from Eric there.
Very harsh. But you didn't have to fucking send it, did you, you knob?
I sent it to Barney and he thought it was someone American to start with. Oh, he said, did I send it to Phil Crump? Yeah, I think I did send it to Phil Crump. It's all right. Phil's not reacted, so it's all right.
You'll be hearing from my solicitor or my agent tomorrow.
Andrew Silver, I sent it to. He put, I will quote, ha ha, fuck me, that was horrendous. Oh, and then he said, when you come on, he said, that's great. He goes, that's great. Try and get John to put on one of his 70s suits and sing it live. Brian Carger guessed it straight away.
Well, he would.
He goes, Merry Christmas, mate. He goes, that's JD. He knew straight away. I've not had a response off Pete and Arlene. What is he? Roscoe was laughing when I sent it to him. Yeah, laughing faces.
Do you think you are my fucking agent?
Yeah, I'm getting it around. Did I send it to Scott Autry? I'm not sure. Yeah, I sent it to Scott Autry as well. He just gave me me. He just gave me a thumbs up because I sent him the picture of you and all that on that thing, with the with the picture of him in the background holding his ears on the promotional thing. Alf Busk as well. I sent it to. Who else did I send it? Oh, I've not had a response off Lee Adams yet.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Jimmy Nelson's not replied yet on that one when I sent it to Jimmy Nelson as well. I'm going to I'll message him now and say that he was the worst team rider that you've ever rode with.
Sorry?
I'll say to Jimmy he was the worst team rider.
Yeah.
I bet that'll get a reply. Yeah, look, Honey's doing that. I want it, JD. Oh, do a duo. Yeah, do a duet with Linda Lasardi. Tell him to send it to Linda Lasardi. Yes. I wonder how she is now.
Say that again.
I wonder how she is now, Linda Lasardi.
Linda? She's on TV, wasn't she, not long ago?
Yeah, was that the... what do you call it, where they do the strip thing and all that, wasn't it, as well? Was that her on there? Yeah. Strictly
Stripping.
That's it. But yeah, I sort of have been seeing...
Whack.
Oh no, sorry, but it was too good not to.
I'll speak to you tomorrow. I'll talk to you about the catering. Seriously.
Yeah. Thanks for that, John, anyway.
It's not a problem, my boy.
Well, thank you very much for the... what a night. What a way to start the new year once we got it going anyway.
Yeah, well, it took a bit of
technology. See, 2022, still doing weird shit. Oh,
I
take
was,
it
do you
easy,
know what?
buddy.
I was very close, fucking like to going offline because I thought,
Doing that.
using that fucking Bob plug. Who the fuck's this?
It's Adam. You've said I think you've given him about 4 different names so far.
Eh?
I said I think you've called him 4 different names so far.
Yeah, Bob somebody.
Adam. Yeah. He's Bob, Paul, Peter.
Never mind.
Yeah, thanks for that. Anyway,
Take
mate.
care, yeah.
Yeah, I'll get this shared out there, and the music will go global. Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks very much for your
you
time.
too.
In all seriousness.
Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
mate. Take it easy. Legend, thank you. Top man. Much love, JD. What a legend. Woo! I'm practically on the verge of wetting myself in real life. Oh, I do love that song. I love that song. I have played it way too many times. I must admit. And even though John's called my mate Adam about 13 different names tonight. Who was that, Adam? Paul. I think he called him John. You've got loads. I'm going to start calling you different names now, Adam. This is Adam's Winslet, by the way. He actually got me into this StreamYard. So much thanks to him. Even though JD was giving us grief at the start tonight when he's trying to help me. Thanks for that, Adam. Happy New Year to everyone. Going to go and get some late tea. Hopefully I've still got another half and another daughter waiting for me. My little Popolina and my little Laney Lou. Sherbet dip. Licorice all sort. Lemon sorbet. Lemon meringue pie. Thanks for all coming on tonight. There's been loads of people on live all night, even after all the problems at the start. So I'm glad we still got the music in at the end, because when I did the music at the start of the first one I started, first live, I put the music on from JD's 1979 Speedway hit, one hit. Put it out. We put it out there. Maybe that just sent it all Pete Tong. So I'm glad we got to do it at the end as well. So at least we'll have that on the saved live now. Perfect. And JD with us. So Annie twice sang a couple of verses of that live as well. So don't get that these days, people. Thanks ever so much for everyone to come on. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you very much for coming on. I had a great time tonight. Really appreciate it, everyone coming on. And we will share this out there, and hopefully everyone enjoys it like they did the first one. And we'll have to do a part 3. But there is a possibility as well of us doing this a night with JD in for real. We've talked about doing a few of those with Motocross and Speedway. You know, go to a hotel, some food, and people there for the night. It'd be a good night. We could have a couple of hours with some stars and have some fun, and they can say things they might not normally be able to say, even though John does his best to say anything anyway. But you know what I mean? Stories that might not be able to be said. Stuff like that. It could be fun. We were thinking about doing that before the COVID and all that hit properly, but you never know. We might be able to get some of that in 2022. So I'll speak to you all soon. I'll keep you all up to date on my Motocross and Speedway Memories reunion. I've got a bike competition to start as well that was supposed to be starting today, but it's been so busy. We'll sort that out as soon as well to get that out there. The old race spec Honda that everyone loved. Everyone's saying Happy New Year. Thank you very much, all. Take it easy. Speak to you all soon. Keep you up to date what interviews are going to be coming up and everything. Motocross and Speedway interviews. And I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers. Take it easy.